Beautiful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I will let you know the moment I know that we're live, and I think it's starting already.
Yes,
Yet, you see it?
I see
Oh,
in top
beautiful.
left corner.
I love it. Okay, cool, cool. Greetings, everyone. Amazing. Another Monday, meaning another live transmission of being the glitch. And I am so honored to have my beautiful friend, dear soul slash star brother, Gary, with me here. And obviously, we'll take some time and introduce you and go everywhere with you and anywhere with you, wherever you feel like. Yet today, we would like to go into a little bit about how that deep alignment really supports us to click in, right? To anchor, to stabilize the highest timelines. Our personal as well support the collective. So alignment, and then we go obviously into raw, unedited experience of being the glitch. I trust Gary will share some awesome personal, maybe never heard stuff before as well, and I trust that these shares, these experiences that each of us go through, um, they resonate in the ways that they uplift you, that they let you feel seen and heard, and allow you to give that permission slip to yourself, that knowing that you're not alone in this. Because we're not, we have been in all of this together forever. It felt like we're all alone and in solitude, right? And separated. Yet it's just the illusion. We were supposed to be spread out through this beautiful realm, Earth grid, and hold these higher frequencies, anchor them through our own glitching of our own matrix. So we can support, right, to rewrite, to recode, to come back to this original blueprint, to come back to the remembrance of who we really are, what we are here really to do, what we're really here to be, right? And to co-create. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone that is tuning in right now or will watch later. Episode 5 with Amazing Awakened Within, and how your alignment
Mhm.
can fully allow you to live, to experience your highest timeline and the identity that lives in that highest timeline reality. So, Gary, first of all, before we're going to go anywhere we're going to go, thank you so much for being here on this life. And more so, personally, I am deeply in gratitude that I have had you for already, what, couple years now, right? I think. As a family member of mine, the moment we saw each other, and that's the beauty. When the soul recognizes soul, it's not like we need to introduce ourselves. It's almost we don't need to introduce ourselves. I think that's what I love about remembrance, right? You kind of recognize each other, you remember each other as you remember yourself. And I felt strongly supported by Gary throughout the last couple years since we met, just by him being him, just by him doing him and rippling and having this energetic signature, sharing with me his own experiences and us able to check in with each other and support each other, like not feel like an outsiders and cuckoos as we felt for a very long time, right? Like, what do you mean light language? Like, what do you mean we're all one? Well, what do you mean? I will never forget when I met you in Hawaii when I came to visit. I lived in Hawaii and then was visiting Hawaii, and they flew to the other island to see him for a moment, for a day, right? We just had a
Yeah.
day. And I will always remember, we're sitting in a coffee shop. We were like having a snack or something, or juice. I don't remember. And as people walking by, it's so beautiful. Then we're like, oh, he remembers and I remember. We're looking at the couple or something, at somebody else. And we're like, oh, look. it's another me, and oh look, it's another you, and it's so profound and it's so beautiful. Like, oh my God, he gets me. Oh my God, right? She sees me. So that's why, hence this podcast, right? And I called it being a glitch because I felt like, wow, that will resonate with so many, especially when we were going through the breakdowns or contractions or rougher times. Really, you feel like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I so not normal, correct? And now we're moving into new normal. So that's beautiful. Gary, welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Awakened Within at Awakened Within. That's how we met on Instagram. Yet, this is Gary Leon. I don't
Yeah,
know if you would like your
that's
last
my
name.
no, it's my middle
Um,
name. Yeah, I don't care.
you're okay, okay,
My middle
amazing.
name Leon.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. Yeah, so
Kaufman's
go
my
ahead.
last.
Please introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true. We met and we talked and connected on Instagram and social media for a few years, and then I was living out in Hawaii, and yeah, you had stopped there for a day on that island. And we actually met in person, and it was really cool to connect for the first time in person. And like we went all over the island, and yeah, and everything that we spoke about, through the phone or social media, we actually it's cool to anchor it in person. It was a different experience. Yeah, Awaken Within is the Instagram display name, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm very honored to be here. It's awesome that you're doing this, and I really, I really, I want people to be able to take away from this tools and perhaps suggestions and different concepts or different ways to be able to create the life that they truly want for themselves, but they don't know how to fully utilize all of the resources or all of the angles to bring it into fruition, or they might start going in one direction and then something happens and then they get off the tracks a little bit. So we were both talking recently about um, I think it was something to do with a download that I had, and then you said you also had similar downloads about alignment, about how we actually can end up blocking our own manifestations by because of the ego, because of the mind, because of the want to see instant gratification, to see results right away, or to have something that you might potentially long for a while, which could be stemming from an unfulfilled void within ourselves. And where is that rooted? So, we have to look at all of those things, and the more we look at those things within ourselves and find that inner harmony and that inner balance and the inner unity of the divine energies within ourselves, the divine masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, then we can ultimately attract everything in the external reality or our external universe to mirror that all of that work that we have done on ourselves for all of this time. So, yeah, I'm very honored to be here and happy to be having this conscious conversation with you.
Yeah, it's you know what I say, it's a frequency transmission disguised as conversation. Because again, even us, right? Here is as interface. And really, I so fully, so much deeper, on much deeper layers. Yeah, see, wording sometimes can so challenging when you get to explain or express the experience of this unfolding of spiritual awakening, of identity death after that. Really, the words can only express just a very small spectrum, I feel like, of actual experience, what you really feel. Correct. So I'm glad that we're a lot of us already communicating telepathically, including a lot of times it happens. Like he comes up with like, oh, I had a download. I was like, oh my God, I was just writing a post about like, so again, we're all so connected. And first of all, we're all communicate through our fields, through that way, right? And I'll say probably the last thing that that comes out is the words that we communicate through the words. So I'm glad that a lot of us tuning in into our supernatural, rather natural, or awakened within gifts. I'm going to utilize awakened within today a lot. I've never
Yes.
asked you why awakened within. I think that's going to be add what you know what? Yeah, do you have an answer right now? Like why
Yeah, yeah,
awakened
I
within?
can I can tell you I'll be open about it. 5 years ago, I didn't have social media, not 5 years ago, probably 2018, 2019. I wasn't really on social media. And then I had done ayahuasca for the first time.
Okay.
And that's when I came out of that experience. I was the first one to come out of that experience in the group that I was with. And I realized, wow, the experience that I had was so profound that I realized that I am God. I am a fragment of God, that God is having an experience through me and through my eyes. That was the first time that I had that realization with pure clarity. But then I looked around the room and everybody else is still sitting in their experience. And I'm like, wait, but that's God too. That person's God too. That person's God too. Everything is God. Wait, what about the animal? An animal in the room. There's a cat. That's God too. Everything is God. That's where I realized that everything is God. Everything is God, and but uh, you can't truly understand that without having gratitude, without being humble, because the concept of I am and it can have some ego attached to it because it's like, oh, it's not, I am God, I am better than everyone else. No, everything is God. Most people are not aware of that. But when you come to that understanding, that's where you have to have done extensive amount of work on yourself, extensive amount of introspection, looking inside of ourselves to really to be humble, to to understand what that means. That's a responsibility that if you're tapping into divine essence and these
I love that.
beautiful powers, that it
Oh, he got stuck. I'm not sure if I got stuck or you got stuck. Maybe will somebody will let us know, or Gary will come back later. So I'm not sure. I love it. I love the live transmissions, unedited and raw, because we get to flow. Life is lifing, and we get to keep flowing. So we'll see if Gary is stuck or I am stuck. Let me check if he's I will. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna check on YouTube probably. Can I? Can I see on YouTube if we're stuck? Oh, we're probably stuck on. Okay, so I see Gary stuck and I see me not stuck. Okay, he jumped off, so he will jump back. I love when he started sharing even about his first right experiences after ayahuasca, Mama Aya, where Maya, and I have not done it. I've had quite a few, or I'll say many experiences, psychedelic experiences without psychedelics. Yet, yeah, I haven't gone into per se the medicine as a tool. I might eventually, I might not, because again, our own body, everything outside us, there's no outside, everything outside of us, the tool, it's just permission slips, because your body makes everything what any medicine from outside can give you as well. So that's the beauty. And here we go. He's tuning back
so,
in.
sorry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
nothing
it's
like
okay.
a little interference.
Uh, yeah, well, your camera is still off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I love it. I was telling them, what I love already about your share in a way. I checked who is stuck. I was like, I don't know if I'm stuck. I don't know if he's stuck. So yeah, I saw that you're stuck. Perfect. That's what I love about, again, raw, unedited, and live. Because life is lifing, right? And these containers are just a mirror of what's going on outside. again, there's no outside world. It's just easier to for a mind to comprehend. Yet every time we say outside world or outside tool, like there's really not outside. Yeah, these little containers, right? That's how my coaching goes as well. So when somebody shows up on a coaching, let's say if they're constantly late, even if it's a minute or two, I already know that that's what's going on in their life. So yeah, these little containers is just the mirrors of what's going on in the collective. And life will always be lifing. And obviously, it's much easier if everything is pre-planned and goes so smoothly, per se, or everything is edited, right? We could just record and edit it and take her 3 days to record it, and so on. It has another side of, what do you call it, pros, right? Um, for me, the con would be the editing. I would be like, do I really get to edit or can I go live? And the same when you go live, correct? For me, it's mostly pros because even if it's a glitch like this, I love it because, okay, what is Roma going to do now? Am I going to get like lost and nervous and upset? Will I get frustrated? And it's so fun. And it's so fun to check in with yourself where you're at in this quantum field because right now you were frozen, Gary. And like, I wasn't sure even if it's you or I. I checked. There was nothing in my body. I could feel my body. There was nothing, not a muscle contracted, not a tendon move, nothing, nothing. That hard. Like it's so fun. Look, I have goosebumps. I swear. Like this is fun. It's fun when the circumstances, right? When the environment does not influence how you feel, what state of emotion, mind, of being you are. And you're operating and you're rippling. So even right now, you know, I actually, my heart even expanded more so because I trusted myself so much through this moment. I swear, I feel more expanded and even deeper groundedness. So thank you for the glitch, Gary.
Yeah.
Because again, every trigger and every glitch is just a potential for you to expand more, to ground more, to harness that godlike power. Yet, before, yeah, I'm going to stop mumbling and let you continue share. Before that, I simply said, how fun. And I now, every time I am doing this live and this podcast episodes or podcast, we can call it podcast or live transmission episodes. um I continue collecting evidences that it's so amazing for us to really start sharing these personal experiences as well, because there's so much out there information, how to align and we're still going to share ours because everybody shares and teaches differently. And the same, like, it's always a student teacher, teacher student, because I'm learning as well, even when I'm sharing at the same moment, even when I'm teaching, I'm a student as well, yet it's so beautiful to hear your personal experiences because again it's like clicking with mine, and things start making more sense, not that the head has to make sense about everything, right? It's just it lands. It comes together when I hear a few more people saying, your ayahuasca trip. I had psychedelic experiences without psychedelic. I've never taken any medicine, yet I had a hardcore psychedelic experiences where after the first one, I really didn't know what to do with myself. 2 weeks, I didn't left the house because I didn't know if to take myself to the doctor and really just start taking pills and like just lock me
Yeah.
up, or because I wanted to put my fist through the walls because I was walking around the house for 8 hours without the walls with thousands of beings in my house,
Yeah.
and then you come out of this and then you're like, what do I do with this now? So how beautiful, like the moment you were sharing, and I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like, okay, was my body working beautifully, magnificently, releasing the medicine that it has inside, taking me, allowing me to connect to these other dimensions, being able to, well, not connect, we're never disconnected, right? To see them, to experience them. So yeah, thank you. Go ahead. Go anywhere you feel like going. Oh, I
Yeah,
love, we have some, we
yeah,
have some
yeah.
people watching in comments. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I just wanted to say that you don't necessarily need ayahuasca. That was just my
Yeah,
first time trying
I
it.
love it.
And, I just, at the time, I felt called to do it. But you can do this, you can achieve. I've had multiple different layers of awakening, of my awakening process. My first being in my early 20s when I got really sick. Um, and that was the first time that my crown chakra had opened up. So, and that was totally spontaneous. That essentially I didn't take anything for that. So I was just, I grew up in New York, and yeah, I was just like a punk kid in his late teens, early 20s. Had both my ears pierced, and
I love
I was totally unconscious, like listening to hip hop, freestyling. Not that, it's bad or good, but that's just who I was. I was not
Yeah,
aware.
I love it.
I was not spiritual by any means. And then I got sick. Something happened to me where I started having like visual issues. Like I would see trailers over objects. I had a lot of like visual static. It's called visual snow. I had a lot of fatigue in my body at the time, and I didn't know what was happening to me, so I was kind of freaking out. Saw every doctor under the sun. Every diagnosis was ruled out. Every scan, nothing showed. The only thing that showed was a flagella, which is a tail for a bacteria for Lyme disease. It's synonymous with Lyme disease, but I was never even definitively diagnosed. They could never even find the specimen or the Western blot and ELISA tests, which are what they use to diagnose it. Everything was negative. So I was treated for like a year and a half for Lyme's, even though I probably never even had it. Um, and around that time, I was just like doing a lot of research into healing myself. And
Hmm.
eventually I was just like, all right, this isn't Lyme's. I'm stopping all these antibiotics. I need to fix this. I need to heal myself. I don't know what to do. So I just started researching every diagnosis under the sun. So I was every microorganism you could think of, every bacteria, parasite, uh, all yeast, everything, any pathogen. I researched what it could potentially create symptoms of, and then how to treat it or how to kill it. And I became a guinea pig in and of myself. My
Beautiful.
family,
A
it
lot
was
of
a,
us that.
yeah, it was a joke and a running joke in my family that, I had a pharmacy full of supplements in my parents' kitchen cupboard in New Jersey at the time, because I had moved to Jersey midway through high school.
Hmm.
And so ultimately, I learned a lot about all these things and how to treat them. But at the same time, I started going to bed, and randomly, I would have, after all of this denseness in my body and this heavy, heavy fatigue and brain fog and all these symptoms, I would go to bed every night and wake up around 2 or 3 in the morning at the same time every
Oh
night.
yeah. Yeah.
And I
I love.
had a column of white light coming in through the top of my head. And it seemingly did not end anywhere. It went through the roof, through the ceiling. And I couldn't see it with my eyes because it was above my head, but I saw it because when we first wake up, our brain is in the wavelength that we are most able to see the you know beyond the veil. So the
I
first
love it.
30 minutes and then the last 30 before we go to bed. So yeah, so this column of light was just there. And after 3 months, every night, I got so used to it. I would wake up, I would go to the bathroom, use the bathroom 2, 3 in the morning, same time every night. It's just like, oh, it's still there. Okay. And I was just like, whatever. And eventually, eventually I was just like, I accepted it, and then it stopped completely stopped, and I was like, all right, it's gone, whatever that was, but then I realized that I started to see orbs. So I could see energy, so energetic clusters, similar to how you can see on like a photo or even in on video. I actually saw a couple a little while ago in front of you, zooming across the room. Um, and but they were they're all types of different colors, and then that's where more visual, like Western medicine at the time didn't have an explanation for this, still doesn't, but visual distortion, visual hallucinations, it's in the brain, so it's like your brain is creating this, versus I didn't have anyone at the time to connect with energetically or spiritually.
Correct.
I didn't have that background either in my family. Like that's just it wasn't us. So I did a lot of research myself. I did then connect. I just kind of came to terms with it, and I became super sensitive to energy as well. That's another thing that happened at the same time. So that was the first phase of my awakening, and I just turned 40. That was probably 17-ish years ago, 17, 18 years ago. So my early 20s, when that first happened. Yeah, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, I think was in its infancy, maybe. So yeah, just a lot of research and um, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the start of it. I can keep going
Yeah, yeah.
about,
Well, I love
yeah.
because you kind of answered one of the questions for the glitches, like how did it started, like where it started. Because again, it was funny. There's so many people ask me about my story, like started to wonder about my story, right? Like I will get DMs in Instagram, like where is this all coming from? Well, like where is this wisdom? Like how you're connected and really high transmissions, like but how? And it's so interesting because again, I did share um I was on Jared's podcast and I did share with him that looking back at this point for me, I don't even see my life as a lifeline, like as a linear story at all. So it's almost challenging for me to even share it that way because I don't identify with, n- I mean, none of it really anymore. And the way I see it, I see literally like, you know, even yesterday something came up and I was like, wow, this is such a mini little thing, small little thing, but it gave me such a profound lesson. That's why I'm so able to do this and this right now. Great, right? Like, like physical therapy. I finished physical therapy back home, yet I didn't want to go to work for the hospital. I have such an intuitiveness. The hospital will not let me be a good doctor, right? Like, all even my mom and family, like, it's like it's almost upsetting. You get it? Like you have a PhD and you're like, no, I'm going to be a personal trainer. I felt cuckoo. I felt cuckoo. Why am I not being just normal and just be okay? Like, no, you got to think of something twisty and go the other direction. Like, why?
Yeah.
I used to question myself, why you do it? Why you make it yourself? Like, and even my girlfriend used to say, you make everything so much more complex for yourself. Like, why you can just follow? Why you can just like go? And I would just constantly want to like explore the other avenues and like forge my own path. And I can see it. I can see it. It's really at the whole of it. It's a little sci-fi movie. It was never linear. Yet again, it's profound when you're sharing your experience. Something like, because for me it happened 2012. I went into huge depression. Huge. I've never been depressed before that way. um you know as a teenager, I took pills too. you know one time I was there, yet again, not ever really like prolonged depression or anything like this. In 2012 for like 6 months, yeah, I was done. I was like, okay, I don't want to be here, absolutely not. And then I literally, I started going into everything, silent meditation camps. I studied Ayurvedic, all the medicine and science, and I literally start seeing myself outside, and that's how I walked for 2 years, and I could not comprehend everything I was doing or saying. I already saw like a half minute or half second before, and I was seeing myself from here, like I was outside of my body. It was freaking me out in the same, and I was still living downtown Chicago or a successful personal trainer. I was like, it's just I couldn't. It was, yeah, it was, it was like you say, it's such an experience that you're like, what is happening? And the same with a silver quartz. Um, I think I can't tell you when, yet it's around my big psychedelic trip without psychedelics. 7 years ago, approximately, that happened. After that trip, when I didn't leave my house for 2 weeks, when I left the house, I could see silver cords on every person. And I'm walking, and I was actually talking to my friend on the phone. I walked out and I start freaking out. I was like, what the heck? What the heck? What the heck? When I was saying, what the fuck? What the fuck? I wasn't saying what the heck. And she was like, what's happening? What's happening, Roma? I said, wait a second. I literally was cleaning my eyes. I was like, something is wrong. Something is wrong. So, the sky suddenly is much more blue, right? The colors are very different, much more vivid. And then suddenly I see everybody walking. And it's again, like you say, it's not like a literal physical seeing, but it's seeing, I see it. I can see it with my mind's eye, like everybody walking with the silver cords. I was like, what's happening? What is happening? What is that? I was like, I don't understand. All the people feel like looks like puppets. And that's what I was saying, because that's how it looked to me. I was like, are we like attached to something? Like, what is happening? Yeah, so it's scary. And again, I've never shared these experiences, because now I was like, I see it. And it's kind of beyond. So I always share the tools and and the ways of being, and rather my experiences, how to shift, or how to align, or how to reframe with your words. Because the deep knowing is there, and the deep knowing was always there. Um, I feel like even as a kid, because I was very sensitive to. I was just sharing with my mom. I'm visiting my mother. I'm in Connecticut. Hello from Connecticut. Greetings from Connecticut. So I was even laughing with her, and we were sharing. Like, I was very sensitive to the light. In the evening, the light used to hurt me. Like, I didn't need to look at it. If the light was behind me, I would tell my mom that my back is burning from the light, just a regular lamp. In the car, I couldn't drive. Nobody could drive me. I couldn't take bus. I couldn't drive. In every car, I would just be throwing up all the time from just the engine. So I was this very sensitive, weak stomach kid. I was just called weak. What's up,
Interesting.
Zoom? Yeah, I was just too sensitive. Like, I remember my mom always saying, like, oh my God, I don't know what she's gonna do in this life. She told me she's like too sensitive for this world. I don't know what's going to happen to my kid, you know. And I was doing this, like I
Mm.
got, yeah, like I had twitches for 2.5 years. I was in a psychiatric hospital as well for like, I don't know, 2.5 months, I think. At 12, I just started peeing in the middle of the night every night. And the moment I go to sleep, there was more or less like 12 to 1. They found me just pissing my bed
Mm.
almost for a year and a half as well. Like, it's just that, yeah, you get it. So when I look back, I was like, oh my God. And, and again, now you comprehend and you understand and you share feelings like, wow, we are walking oracles up here, and we get to, um, to allow ourselves to go into these concepts, and not everybody's experience is like this. That's why I feel like the space could support so many, because when you're sharing through ayahuasca, I have a lot of people that had ayahuasca trips and wasn't able to anchor them, and yeah, almost, and did purposely, in a need to anchor those, they did more of rituals with medicine, and then they just, I felt like they mind split it. They couldn't bring it back together, and it's just this huge miserable
Yeah.
ways of being. So it's beautiful what you're sharing, and that you can anchor. Before we go, Oh my God, we have Mark watching us. So, you know Mark Jennis probably from Gary. Mark Jennis, he's on Instagram. We're all like always giggling. Dr. Catherine Clinton and Mark and I were kind of talk and giggle together in the comments and everything. This beautiful being, beautiful soul, engineer slash musician slash scientist, and he blows my mind because he sees patterns places where I would never find them. And it's beautiful. So he has couple comments, so I'll just share this. Okay. Awesome. The first one: I have experienced many mind experience expanding drugs. Hehe. Not ayahuasca. I think it is important to live the different ways of thinking, but as continuous think, I do not agree in microdosing. So I mean, yeah, I'm not sure where this goes yet. Authenticity allows deeper reach into our goal or soul. Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. Yeah, he always talks about Z, right? So that 0 point. He puts these things in a beautiful, I will say almost formulas. I'll call them formulas because the way he just explains or expresses or puts it together, uh, it's almost easier for me to comprehend that really heavy physics slash science and slash engineering, right? So thank you. So galaxy mind, earth body, Z up, entangled. Mind and body are separated things. So it's beautiful. Anybody that wants to be mind effed, follow Mark as well, for sure. To tune in into a little bit like what just happened. What did he just say? He always has really profound shares. I love it. And Mark, thank you so much for being here and commenting so much. Like he has like all these comments. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, continue sharing whatever, and or maybe you have like some feedback as well to whatever we say. Yeah, thank you for everyone that is watching or will be watching later. So Gary, you answered kind of a question, the first one, almost. Yet we're going a little bit into alignment. So maybe you would like to share your own interpretation, your experiences, and what you want to really give to the other glitches, right? To the other infinite souls and many gods, right there, all of us, hey, as tools, as again, as your context, or maybe even your own experiences that really supported you. So wherever you want to go with an alignment, go. And I will
Yeah,
definitely have something to add.
sure. Yeah. So, we can almost go back to the first live that we did about how to shift your frequency in any moment. I think that's a good
Mm,
place to start.
yeah,
That was almost a year and a half, 2 years ago that we did that, maybe like a year and a half.
something like this.
Yeah, so I think that's a good place to start. So alignment can mean so many different things. It's such a vague and broad term. Ultimately, my biggest interpretation of this is okay. So let's go back to let's just look at the fundamental root. Let's dissect this a little bit. If everything is vibration, everything emanates a specific vibration. We all have heard the term as within, so without, as above, so below, as the universe, so the soul. So the concept of as within, so without is whatever you are feeling or experiencing in your internal universe, your external universe will be then receiving this projection, this holographic projection emanating from within, and then it will be mirroring it back to you in some context. There's a lot of different variables. Go ahead.
Can I come in just with one thing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It not will
It is.
is
Yeah, 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 it is.
the feedback that we get, it's already passed anyways. So I
Yeah.
want to be that clear. So we kind of prepare ourselves for a being in a, a place where I don't need to fight what is fully accepted, because there's nothing you can do with already what is.
Hmm.
You can manipulate what is. It's done because it's already passed. So you never need to fight what is, never need to resist what is, never need to resent what is, because it's your past already. So go ahead, continue. Just want to make that distinction
Yeah,
because that gives me a lot of freedom that I don't need to go and fight this to change, right?
exactly. Yeah.
It's already passed. It's just kind of like it's a grade. You got it
it's
already.
it's happening, it's all happening simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's and it's connected to our subconscious beliefs as well. So a lot of it stems from our subconscious beliefs and our subconscious programs. So at our roots, the key is to actually be able to resolve all subconscious beliefs and programs that are not in alignment with our highest or truest essence, right? These are just things that are stemming down generationally, which then we go through reality with these kind of like these programs. And in our day to day, with how we are interacting with certain things, certain elements, or even in our own mind, everything is emanating a vibration. So we are always creating in every moment. Some of it is subconscious, most of it is subconscious, some of it is conscious. Um, and that is also contingent on the frequency that we are feeling in our heart space, in our solar plexus. What we are literally feeling inside is what is being created in some form. Then, when we couple it with conscious thought or subconscious beliefs, we are then sending it out and getting instantaneous feedback. And that is the reality that we are existing in real time. So, for me, the alignment state is trying, not trying, but well, yes, trying and working consciously daily. If you have not been on, most of the people that are going to be watching this have already been doing the work for years. They
I
have
feel like so as
already
well.
learned a lot of these
Agree.
concepts. They have already utilized a lot of these resources and tools, been to conferences, listened to, like the most famous gurus speaking and all these things. But for me, what it really boils down to is, since we know that we are creating in every now moment, if you really truly understand that, then we have the sole responsibility of ensuring that what we are creating is coming from a good or a beautiful frequency emanating within. Because if we're constantly walking around in our day to day and inside of our solar plexus or inside of our heart space, we are feeling just anxiety, or well, that could be many different things as well if we're sensitive and we're picking up, but still there's energetic barriers that can stop that from happening, but that's another conversation. But if we are dealing with our own unresolved stuff, and we're always kind of like in a crappy space internally and not feeling good inside, we are going to create a reality that is just going to mirror that or attract more of that into our field until we finally realize where we need to heal or what we need to look at within ourselves. That's what a trigger is. And that's why a lot of people with a lot of triggers that are a lot of triggers can be leading to one thing, one specific trauma, or multiple or multitude of traumas with their own separate triggers. Whatever
Mhm.
it is up to us to sit with ourselves whenever we can, to literally take it is our responsibility to take time for ourselves, to anchor in, to look within, to follow those triggers to the roots and resolve them, so that if you are feeling and you're starting to build a better frequency internally and you're walking through this realm and you're starting to get those opportunities and attract those beautiful things, but then a trigger just sets you off, well, it's always going to kind of loop you back. You might not go back 20 feet, but you might, fumble back a little bit, and then you got to look inside and then hopefully resolve or integrate whatever that is. And the way we do that is through feeling, and we could talk about that today as well. I think it's an awesome opportunity to talk about this, but so that we can then more continuously, more on a consistent basis, more on a balanced basis, be able to walk this realm with that good internal frequency, even if there is no conscious wants or needs or manifestations attached to it to create, but just being in that frequency and being in the flow state, we will then begin to attract what our higher self has intended for us without us, our ego mind, wanting to specifically attach to or manifest anything individually. But you can do that as well. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, so I love because I would love to touch on a couple of things that you shared, kind of dive a little deeper. So, uh, okay, when we were talking about these, we kind of said a good or a good feeling frequency, right? So then you said flow. So I would like to go a little bit there. Yes, flow is bliss. Yet it doesn't have to be the whole positive because again, remember, negative is not negative, it's just a negative charge. Don't worry about it. Like we're a quantum world, there is no wrong or right. In quantum world, there is no bad and good. It does not exist. Your bad emotions are not bad. Your bad frequencies are not bad. Okay. They're lower. And again,
Well, we
you
want to,
are not less. Yeah, you're not less. Yeah, yet again, to for them not to, because every time where I see a lot of people as well not really fully going into alignment because they learn to shift so well that they shift out constantly out of what they really need to feel. I'm very strong in mind, so I can shift myself out of anything. And you kind of know me already, right? Yet I'll know when I get to feel. So I gotta pause and not shift myself, not need to get rid of that bad emotion or a bad feeling, correct? Yet what we're talking dominantly being in that ease or flow, no matter of circumstances. So for example, right, the life is lifing, whatever circumstances are glitching, obstacles coming up, you're still flowing. You're like water, be like water, easy peasy, right? Being like water will give you that flow, that beautiful alignment, that steady higher frequency. Period. Right now, even today, before life, this is the first actually episode 5, the first time that we were late. Divine timing still. He had some stuff. I had some stuff going on. Construction starting. Like it was so funny. I was like, wow, so much little things are coming up. And
yeah.
yet I was giggling again, like I even told you now, even now, not a muscle move, not anything. Meaning, no matter what I'm countering, even if there is like, oh, there is a big noise outside, right? Nothing here really shifts into heavy, or even if there is a denser energy moves through me, it doesn't get stuck in me or anything like this. You get it, you're allowed to move through it. So yes, no wrong or right, no bad or good. Yeah, you get to stay in dominant frequency, what reality you want to experience. That's about it. So no matter if the obstacles are coming my way, correct? If I see myself in my mind's eye as a minimum, as someone that lives life through ease and bliss, correct? And that all the challenges dissolve easy for me, correct? Always works out for me. It's always working out for me. I don't have problems. I don't need to solve them. I dissolve them, correct? That's how I get to act in that moment when it all comes up. So being aware. So just to touch up here a little bit, and then really strongly, what came up for me, that my interpretation alignment is communication. It's coherence. That's all what is. Because if Gary and I, if we're aligned, Gary, you know how things flow. If we're not aligned, we communicate all you want. So many say communication is the key. Come on, guys, come on, come on, come on. No. Do you know? Look at the families, look at the couples. Most of the couples that I had, the first initial consults when they come in, that's the We talk and we talk and we decide and we agree and nothing changes, right? Couples talk and they fight and then this, yet there is no shift because there is no comprehension is the key. Because Gary and I, again, most of you already who are being glitches and leaders of this new paradigm and new world, and again, as I shared already in the past lives, new world, new earth, new paradigm leaders, we don't need the titles. We don't have titles. We don't have hats. We're leaders of our own self. If you're able to lead yourself through every glitch and every resistance and every resentment and every obstacle and still being able to be water and expand more, you're a leader. You lead yourself, you'll be able to lead anyone you want to. Your family, your business, your community, the movement, and so on. So a lot of you are already kind of leading that, and holding these higher frequencies. It's symbiotic relationship with Earth. Earth wouldn't be waking up if we wouldn't, and vice versa. Correct. So, how beautiful is um, you're leading, and a lot of you had experiences where maybe especially in the beginning of awakening, how you want to wake everybody up and you want to shake everybody up and you want to explain everyone experience. How many times you shared your experiences to person that haven't experienced it, and they would never understand you, they would never hear you no matter how many words you said. So bullshit the communication. We don't need communication, because somebody that is aligned will understand each other with half word. It's the communication. Alignment, it's communication. It's either my body communicates in coherence or it doesn't. If it doesn't, it's not aligned. If it's not aligned, it's going to get sick. That's it. That's it. As easy as peasy. That's that. So for me, alignment is how well my body communicates within itself. Alignment with my reality is how well am I aligned with my emotional, mental, and physical body, right? Alignment with somebody else, relationship, right? It's how well are we able to co-create, to dance, to communicate, to comprehend, right? So is that coherent, beautiful communication where deep alignment will allow you to comprehend each other easy. It's again, Dr. Catherine Clinton, she's awesome with talking about coherence in the body, and she gives an example that I like, and I'm gonna borrow slash steal it from her. Borrow it. Well, everything is kind of borrowed because everything is already here. Nothing is ours, right? We're just conduits. Yes. Thank you, dear Catherine. I can't not thank her because Mark will probably tell her that I used her words. I'm joking. Um, Sending a letter. Gary, I can send you a letter right now. How long it would have taken us to jump on this live if you and I would communicate through a regular post mail?
Yeah.
Gary will do the live on the 12th. It gets to get to you. You write me back a letter. Beautiful.
Mhm.
You know, it still can get there and it's still fantastic. Yet the deeper the coherence, it becomes like an email, it becomes like a message, meaning instantaneously, right? Simultaneously, like I'm already here. I already know. We're already comprehending each other. So for me, the layer and the depth of alignment is simply how well uh, all the systems, all the bodies, energetical bodies, mental bodies, emotional bodies communicate. How well I communicate with my reality, how well I communicate with my field, how well so I don't know if that makes sense and if you want to add something here. Yeah, so comprehension, communication in that coherence, in that comprehension, right? In that harmony, you know, go ahead if there's anything.
Yeah. No, it's it all
Because
comes back.
alignment, we keep saying, yeah, because we keep saying alignment. Somebody was like, what does it mean?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
alignment from, yeah, what
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, the concept for me that I got a puppy on my lap, so hang on. She just I can't put her down, otherwise she's gonna start crying and
Oh, the baby.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so basically another thing is the reason that this even came up was like there's alignment can be many different things. It could be energetically, it can be cognitively, it could be spiritually, it could be literally creating an outline or a plan and staying in a specific routine and not deviating from it, aside from giving yourself certain, grace periods. But where this came up was, I think it was like last week or a couple of weeks ago. I was saying how, well, I just touched on this a little while ago, how sometimes we want something so badly. We want it and we want it now, right? And it's like, universe, why have I not received this yet? Why has this not come into my reality yet? And so what do we do? So we go and we're like, you know what? I'm gonna go and create it. I'm gonna go make it happen. I'm gonna go will it into existence. And sometimes that can serve you, sometimes that can hurt you. Because if you do that, and I actually wrote about this last night. Um, and let's say you put in a temporary energetic placeholder that fits, the perfect description of what, let's say, you envision something that you're waiting for to come in would look like. And you're like, oh, that looks like that. Let me just like fit it into this space here. Perfect. I don't need to wait anymore. Well, the thing that's wait was is trying to come into your field but hasn't yet because either energetically the alignment is not there yet, either with the thing, person, place, or thing, or yourself. And it's so we're always circulating and orbiting around that which is meant for us. It is either, like a certain life shift, a partner, a business opportunity, anything. If we want it and if we're feeling it, there is a reality where it already exists in some form. The mind can conceptualize to an extent, but oftentimes, if we're doing the work, the manifestation is so much greater than we even anticipated to begin with. So let's say we put that energetic placeholder. Let's just say in the example of a romantic counterpart, we're like, oh well, like I want my love romance or whatever, and then you go and you find somebody. Well, you don't find somebody, but like you put yourself out there, and then you're trying to fill that void within ourselves. And then great, like that can be a potential connection. There could be beauty there, but the perhaps the universe has something preordained for us, something much greater, a much bigger plan than we can even fathom, or our higher selves are orchestrating this. They are behind the scenes. Um, and then when we put in those energetic placeholders, or like let's say in the example of yeah, so then we end up delaying potentially weeks, months, years, uh, what was meant to come in sooner because we couldn't wait patiently. Or let's say another example, you want to, like you want to start a new business opportunity or something like that. The same thing goes. So it's like yes, we do have to make moves. Yes, we do have to do certain things. You can't just sit there and lay in your bed and wait, right? For the universe to do everything for you and not move at all. But really what we have to do is worry about
Get to
our own internal universe and our own internal
Amen.
frequency, and working on bettering our own lives, working on, creating for within ourselves, creating within ourselves. And did
I
somebody write something funny in the comments?
no, you know what? I don't know why. I cannot stop laughing and I'm giggling, and I feel like you will get it. You said our higher self is working behind the scenes. And I can't get this out of my head now because no, we are the ones that's behind the scenes. There is the
Yes,
main reality.
it yes, yeah, you're right,
We
you're right.
are the
It's
ones
true,
that behind the
it's
veil,
true.
behind the curtain, behind the scenes. We're the and I know and you keep talking. I hear you. I hear you. but I can see it in my mind's eye. I'm like, no, no, no. We are the ones that are behind the scenes. Like, the main thing is there.
Yes. Yeah, but
Yes, you
so,
get it.
but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
I
but
got you. Yeah,
in this simulation,
yeah,
our
yeah,
soul that is occupying the vessel or the fragment of the
yeah.
oversoul is essentially where everything is delayed here, right? So everything has a lag. We're not
Up
manifesting
until now.
instantly yet, like in the higher realms. Soon we will be, time is rapidly accelerating. It doesn't
Yeah,
exist, but the
yeah,
conceptualization of time for the human in this realm is rapidly accelerating. So things will start to come in sooner and sooner and sooner
yeah,
until it's like instant manifestation, right? So the more as this planet evolves, as the frequency expands, as the everything starts to vibrate faster, we will begin to then anchor in more of the divine essence, and then eventually it will then invert itself to some extent, and then we are manifesting instantly. But we're not there yet here as humans in these physical vessels. But that is the truth. What you're saying, we are awake in the dream here. It's more real in the astral realms or in the
yeah, yeah,
quantum realms.
yeah.
But for the purpose of this
Yeah,
podcast, that's how
absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah.
that's how
It's
I'm
just
describing
yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And again, that's why the words, it's such a paradox. All of it for me at this point, I say something, I share a lot of times, I even write a post and I already see a total different perspective. I was like, oh my God, it could be written so differently and so from a different angle, but I don't know who will understand it then. you
Yeah,
know yeah, because
same
everything is
thing.
such a paradox. It's just a paradox, and I love it. And I absolutely love that, Mark. Again, kind of remind me, and yet I think that's where we're going as well. It starts at zero. It's all starts at zero. None of it starts at a high level frequency. It's not about that, and I can connect it very easily with what Gary shared like this. Mark says it starts at zero, not high level. And then Gary shared about being rigid and having these expectations, right? So we can hold these higher visions all the time into expansion because, you know, I'm always 51% leaning into expansion, for example, right? Like that's how I choosing to experience here. Um, Yet, and maybe that's where my challenge is as this character, Roma, right now, to even share with people from my personal personality, personal stories, my personal goals. There's so many, especially the ones that are like not really been doing this work, but they're like coming in now, or even my own family. They're like, so what are you manifesting for yourself? Why are you not manifesting this and that for yourself? Where I don't even have these visions
But
anymore.
you are.
The
But
priorities,
you are. It's just in
yes,
a different
yeah,
way.
but they are seeing like, why am I not manifesting
Yeah.
Porsche?
Why
What
don't you have the
you?
fancy things? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes. Like, why are you? Well, you always wanted to be in Hawaii. Why you're not in Hawaii right now? You've been
so you
doing
can
this work for a
ask.
while. You get like, I've been there, right? Like,
No, so that they can ask. That should be your response.
yeah, here you go. That's a good one, right? And it's so funny. Or sometimes, like, there was even a friend, like, okay, so what is, like, if I would ask you, like, what is your highest like goal right now? Like, what is your that? And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I don't what I don't. I mean, we're unfolding, and my greatest joy and bliss, and really that's where I tear up every time. Like, it was yesterday, Sunday, I was in a webinar of quantum biology and immunology, so immune system. I am crying because I see 400 people on the class. Really, that's my highest vision.
Yeah.
You get it? It's not like anything and even this year I did ask myself, because I was really this last year or and a half to 2 years or now. I mean, every 3 4 months I lived in a different place. Every 3 4 months I was somewhere differently. And I, at some point, personally, I was asking, I was like, is that I know you're good. I know me, right? I'm always at this point good, great, right? I was like, oh, that's what I get to experience. Okay, it is what it is. Yet I was asking, I was like, there is maybe something, Roma, like that you want to start envisioning. And it was like, and it's funny, I almost can't grasp, literally cannot grasp of like something physical, something material to start wishing for me. And and as an ego Roma, as in character Roma, like almost struggles, like doesn't struggle, but it's almost because I'm living as oracle as from that higher vantage point. But
Yeah.
then this Roma is kind of like, am I dismissing her? Like, do I get to enjoy her life a little differently and more fully? As if you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm doing it real time. So I don't know. And I love, and I'm okay with not knowing. A lot of times, like, I don't know. Okay, I love it. So when you said rigid and he said zero, like rigid expectations,
It's
right? Having
both.
these strong visions.
It's both. It's
No, I love it
everything.
because, yeah, no, I love it because where the connection is, you will never, you will be only in your own way, like you shared with the rigid expectations. First of all, from my own experience, you might get precisely what you want, and then you will precisely understand why there is a saying, be careful what you wish for. Because these, even I've seen even around in my own world right now, there are people that thought what they want, they just got it. They just got it. And they already feel like that it's not it.
Yeah, of
You get
course.
it?
Yeah.
So again, so coming from that 0 point, it's so beautiful. It's so freaking amazing. Going back into their tuning in their dissolving your emotions, right? Right into that, neutralizing them. And I will say this: I was always most successful, financial, travels, romantically, in every single way. The universe in general, where I live right now, in my inner universe, the reality doesn't feel real, haven't felt real for last, I don't know, almost 7 years. Like absolutely, with the comprehension, the last two, crazy. Yeah, nothing. I literally see, as you said, instantaneously. 5 minutes later, I see things that I came out of my mouth a lot of times. Really, Gary, we giggled about it. I think on the phone call last week or something. Um, and yet, at this, like totally being at ease, totally letting go of any expectation, any goal, simply holding that in my own energy, holding that frequency, holding that feeling of ease, of what do you mean everything is working out for me always? I don't even need to say it. It's just natural at this point for me. It's given. This is my life. This is my reality. This is the rule. This is the code for my reality. I decide so. I declared it. I render it in every moment. There's no questions asked for me. It's so much easier to be in that 0 point. And every single success that was immense, it was when I literally week or 2 weeks before said to myself, wow, I've never been so relaxed. Wow, I've never been so careless. Oh, wow. And then suddenly the immense stuff comes all the time. The moment I totally melt into that surrender, per se, again, another word that is funky for a lot of people to like, what do you mean to surrender? Right? Like, do I just wave the white flag? That's how it feels for people right now. Um, so yes, thank you, Mark, as well for reminding us of the 0 point, because where Gary was taking us, that rigidity, these expectations, these strong images, that's how it's supposed to be, right? Or that's how it's supposed to come. How many of us imagine love looks like this and like this? That's how it has to come. We will miss the love, we will miss the most profound relationship just because holding on to the image how it's supposed to look.
Yeah.
We might like there is a saying. Well, I think Alan Watts speaks of it. The only way we're going to miss
Mm.
anything what is really meant for us. The only way is just if we are worried that we're going to miss it, meaning we're rigidly holding
Or
on to expectations and looking for it. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Or we end up blocking ourselves because we are impatient and we want it
Well, yeah,
now.
that's the same. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the
So
same. Yeah.
and like the 0 point for me is, source. Let's say the 0 point is where everything starts from.
Starts. Yeah.
I mean, I have a big you know uh like a big connection to the Sri Yantra. I have it tattooed on my back. This, the it's an
Yeah.
ancient symbol, and the dot in the center is the 0 point. That is the source where everything is birthed from, expands to infinity, and then collapses back to the 0 point. So it's like it's happening at the same time. It's not one or the other. The 0 point expands to infinity, but also collapses back to the 0 point or back to the source as well. And everything fractaled from the original source in, instantaneously in the beginning of all of creation, and all of these fragments of source from that original 0 point were created, divine essence, divine unions, original, and then, dimensions, galaxies,
Kept
everything
splitting
was
up. Yeah.
birthed. But from the moment that it was created and expanded and fractaled from there, it's been trying to come back together. So expansion and then collapse. So it's like top down, bottom up. It's the same. It doesn't matter necessarily. There is no one specific way. The 0 point is here, and it is accessible in infinite presence. And we could do that through the breath, right? So returning to the breath. And when you're in that infinite present state, that is the ultimate state that everybody strives for, where you can create from, where you can really create from that point. And when you can stay in that frequency, but everybody lives scattered throughout this realm. And I live in Miami right now, and there is a million people, and most of them are not connecting to the 0 point. So it is conscious efforts on a daily basis to maintain my own internal harmonious universe and be the 0 point for my external universe, so that everybody that enters into my frequency or
Can
is within my vicinity can feel this vibration as well. But ultimately, if let's say you're in a busy city and you're out and about chasing something or someone or some ideology, you are coming out of the 0 point within yourself, right? So you're external, everything is externalized when the source is inside or the 0 point is inside. So that is what it means to be aligned or to be in a harmonious alignment state. Yes, like I mean, I've lived in Hawaii, I've lived all over, I've lived in California for 10 years on and off. I've been in all the national parks, I've been in nature, I lived in nature. When I am in that reality, it's much easier to connect
to
to that
maintain.
space,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
maintain that
Yeah.
harmonious, and then you can continue to create from that space. Sorry, I'm getting phone calls. I don't know if it's
Yeah. Yeah.
affecting,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I understood
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So a moment about maintaining, and then I would love to go into some question as well,
yeah.
and then see you if something with alignment comes up. So maintaining. Uh, I don't know why is it so. Is it? Maybe it's not anymore. Okay, maybe I'm repeating an old story and paradigm because I was used to that. It's very challenging for people to comprehend energy hygiene. I mean, you wipe your fucking ass when you cocky every time. Why don't you just wipe once a year and then cocky all year and then wipe once a year? I don't get it. You brush your teeth, you take your shower. What do you mean you don't get to harmonize yourself every day? Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the paradigm we're removing. Yes, energetic hygiene, it's necessity, it's not a question. It's the same like you wouldn't question if you wipe your ass, if you brush your teeth, if you're like take a shower once in a while, like you wouldn't question someone right? Telling you to like, listen, you smell, go take a shower. Like, okay, I smell, go take a shower. If you're out of coherence, if you're in chaos, right? If you're seeing like, feeling fragments because now you're sad and suddenly you got angry and so like, it's like you're walking with a pants full of shit. Go clean up. It's as easy as, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me, it's just logic. In fact, so many people think that the spiritual stuff is the woo-woo stuff. What are you talking about? Is universal logic, logos. That's where it all comes from. What are you? It's so logical. You know, yesterday somebody said, what was it? We were talking about reason, right? Like, oh, let's reason. But if somebody gets mad at you, how do you don't get mad at you? How is this reason? How is this reason? I get mad because you get mad. So for me, this is a 5-year-old playing in the sand, picked up the sand, threw at you, and then you picked your 5-year-old, you picked up the sand, you threw back. Yeah, I get it. Those kids has no conscience, no reason, no logic. You know, me getting mad because somebody got mad, is that logical? How is that logical? How is that adult so it's so funny because I never comprehended when people like no use you tell so again it's a lower mind and higher mind. I get it but again like, it's not even logical for me that people would dismiss energetic hygiene, and I'm not talking about somebody that is unconscious about energy, right? I'm talking people that go to ayahuascas to do ayahuascas but don't do anything daily, go to retreats and come back from the retreats, but don't integrate it into their life, right?
Yeah.
Keep getting all the titles and all the certifications, yet again, they're walking with, full diapers. So for me, it's not even a question. What are you talking about? Energetic hygiene is the same like you're just brushing your hair and taking a quick little shower and brushing your teeth.
Yeah. I
That's
wanted
about
I,
it.
I wanted to touch on that though. It's like even through the plant medicine, the plant medicine, some of it is so beautiful and sacred, but it is not to be abused. It is if you need it or if you feel like you need it, severe trauma or something that you just can't pinpoint something specifically that to you can't resolve something internally and you use it to get to a specific vibration, that should be enough for us to see what we need to see. And then you can access that frequency at any other point rather than taking the medication or the medicine again and again and again. Like, I do not agree in using anything on a consistent basis.
That's it. I
No,
love it. I love it.
yeah,
So again, it's not for us to decide how everybody gonna use the tools. Yet for me, an extension of my inside world that we call outside world.
yeah,
It's just tools and permission slips. And I think Bashar says like permission slips, right? I'm giving credits to where I heard some stuff today, right? So that doesn't mean I give credits. Yeah, it's a permission slip. So everything is a double-edged sword. Like there are so many people, struggling with their cell phones and the social media for years, hate it, they get distracted by it, they spend hours on swiping. I don't know, it never happened to me. It's such a beautiful tool for me for my business, and I was never worried, like I never had to fight it you
yeah,
know again, let's take Bible, right? Some people read the Bible and enslave themselves. Some people read the Bible. I read the Bible many times. I've studied Torah as well for many years. um, you know, I was with Israelis and religious Israelis in the household for 5 years. And every Friday I used to read and study it. And it was so profound. I loved it. Never enslaved me. I actually even went to church when I was in fourth grade. I got in a fight with a priest because I went to, what do you call it, the confession, right? In English, it's confession. Yeah, confession. And he told me that I did a mistake. The first few sentences, it's like the script, right? And then you go the confession.
Yeah.
So I did a mistake. It was weird because none of my family members went to, even my mom was like, stop going to church. What's happening to you? Every Sunday in the first grade, suddenly I was going all year to church. I would wake up early by myself, go across the street to an old neighbor, like a granny, and because I couldn't, I was too young to walk by myself to church. My parents wouldn't let me yet. So I found even a neighbor that went to church, and I was going with her. And I would just sit and listen constantly. I would sit by the chorus, by the what do you call the instrument that they play? It's not a
The
piano. I don't know. I know in Lithuanian the words, but I don't know in English. Um, Mark will know for sure, but I don't know if he's
yeah,
listening.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I think this instrument, these frequencies are
Yeah.
absolutely because I
Yeah.
used to sit and cry. The tears just ran all the time my face. So I was like, okay, I will try the confession and the whole religious thing. And I went to confession, and I remember I did a mistake. I said the first sentence that was supposed to be second or something like this, and he literally yelled at me. He said, you don't know how to start, you don't know the script. It's okay, you can do this one, but you don't come back if you don't. I literally stood up and I said, I'm never coming back. So I never went back to confession, but I used to always come to church still and listen, just sit by the chorus and then just listen to the music and cry and enjoy it. So yeah, I was already always very drawn, to these spiritual. And again, I've never, enslaved myself, meaning I could even be in church, but I didn't feel like, even as a kid, like that I need to do confession. You get it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, no, there's something here in this house. Like I love the windows, I love the music. This instrument is just amazing. It makes me cry, and I felt so good. Yeah, anyway, so it's tools. It's tools. Will be moments where you can utilize tools, where it activates you, where it maybe triggers you, where it starts recoding you, right? Where it makes a little dent in you and you're like, oh, what's that? Sometimes it's a support as well. For many years, for my mental state, especially when I started going into these spirals, 2012, it was gym. I was in the gym all the time. I was 7 days a week in the gym. And it really supported my mental state, my emotional state, and everything. And then I think good 4 or 5 years ago, the universe pulled that back from me so it doesn't become a crutch. Because for me, like I told you, for me to shift, I had so many tools for me to shift, it was always easy. Like no matter what happened, I could, if I go to Muay Thai, I stay 4 hours in the gym and Muay Thai sparring. My husband left me and cheated on me. I would not remember in Muay Thai that he is even existing. That's
Yeah.
how easy for me was to shift my mind. Yet the feeling and everything and all of this was slowly pulled back for a moment for me. So I don't have it as a crutch, so I can
Yeah.
still utilize it as a beautiful tool for my fitness or anything, yet it doesn't become a crutch where I cannot shift, where I cannot feel it out without going to the gym, where I can feel better, right? Or let's say I was always used to being in certain shape, right? And then that was pulled back from me. Can you love yourself now? Right? You're not as toned. You've always been like so toned. So all of it was pulled back a little bit for me just to see if I have crutches. And some of them, if it was a crutch, it was pulled back for longer. And if it wasn't a crutch, I had no issue, then it was given back to me right off the bat. Like that's how I felt. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it does.
Um, yeah. So again, everything is a tool and you can utilize this tool the way you want to. Yet in the long run, I am aligned here with you. See, aligned. Um,
Yeah.
that it's not, yeah, in the long run, it doesn't support if this is the thing that I get to go to. Because again, in my field, right, there is an attachment, there is a fragmentation right there, and I'm already meaning there is a little split, there is something,
Yes.
so it has to show up in reality as well. So either a person, a being, or a heart, or a romantic relationship, or a friend that's coming into my life, that might come in with some attachments, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a client comes in and here you go. So yeah, it is beautiful how it mirrors very precisely, in fact, almost too precisely.
It's whatever you're calling in as well, it's not just about the service, it's source in every experience. So it's where we're at in our lives when we do call certain things in, that they are for a reason too. There is lessons and experiences to be learned, and through everything and everyone. But yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, detachment is very important.
Yeah.
Um, you wanna, you know, you wanna detach as much as you can. Anything that you're attached to, but not to demonize things either. Like, going to the gym could be an amazing resource for somebody that's super sedentary, that needs to increase cardiovascular, blood circulation. It will release endorphins. Like, if they're in a really low place, that could be very beneficial.
So
But if
again,
they're
it's a tool of
overdoing it,
entry.
yeah, exactly.
Yes. Even like somebody, even I remember somebody recently, I don't know, shared and laughed that somebody's like into tarot cards, right? Tarot cards, yeah. And I was like, don't worry about it. It could be their entry into these worlds. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
if it I only identify in the long run just with it's like, oh, I'm athletic, right? Like this is what Roma is, right? It will be pulled back from me.
yes,
Yet, if I don't entangle, so I say be immersed fully in this life. Even attachment word for me, if I would give my own interpretation, my authentic interpretation, I would say be attached, don't be entangled. I would say these two words has a huge
yeah.
distinction. I don't want to not how look
S-
Zoom
uh,
agrees. Zoom agrees. I
yeah,
I would not want to like have zero attachment, let's say, to a friend of mine or to a romantic relationship, right? Fully mirrors, fully like, yet again, I get it where the attachment where it feels like, oh, you're attached, right, to them. Yet I'm not entangled,
you
right?
could be entangled, but don't be enmeshed. You don't want to mesh it into,
I would say that I see for me it's the opposite. I
not
would say
not
be
not even
fully
entangled,
immersed,
like
but not entangled. For me, entangled, it feels like entangled, it's like when there is a tangle, right?
yeah, yeah.
A
But
string
enmeshed
entangled,
is
I
deeper.
can't pull it back. Attachment for me, it's like magnet. We came together, I pull us back, and we can go, right?
But like,
And entanglement for me, it's like I can't pull it back,
yeah,
meaning
yeah, yeah.
you get it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
So,
I'm thinking, for me, I'm thinking an attachment. Yeah, you can easily separate two magnets. A tangled headphones, you could still untangle them, but
but that's
if
the
you
thing.
if
But
you
that's
heat
not how
them,
you.
if you
Uh-huh.
heat them up and it becomes bonded into one, then it's enmeshed. That is
So I
really
don't
hard
even
to
know this
separate.
word, by
Yeah,
the way.
that's
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 my
yeah,
first
but
time I hear this
it's
word.
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like one step
Immersed.
further. Yeah, enmeshed,
Immersed I want to be. So yeah,
meshed.
I don't know the word.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would not even
yeah,
know what it
whatever.
means. So
It's fine. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
anyways, I wanted to
So
talk. Go ahead.
yeah, so organ. It's organ.
Oh,
The
yes. Yeah. That
yes,
instrument. Yeah.
yes,
It's a beautiful
yes.
instrument. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. Mark said it. And so beautifully, I'll go just through a few comments. Garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, here you go. You get it? We take the garbage out in the house. Like you live here in this reality, physical reality. It's an exchange, constant exchange.
Yeah.
So yeah, your energy will always exchange with something. Everything has frequency. So garbage in, garbage out. And
So
then
I
he
just
shared
wanted
something.
I wanted to touch on garbage in, garbage out. So
Go
garbage
ahead.
in, garbage out, when you're doing it consciously, and if there's a lot of garbage bombarding you, then it has to be a conscious effort to make garbage out. But when you're in alignment, when you're doing the things you should be doing anyway, and your frequency, you're working on your vibration enough, we are ultimate transmuters of energy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Some of the garbage that comes in can be alchemized into pure gold. And
Yeah.
sometimes that garbage can set off the specific type of trigger to then alchemize that. So the more we're in alignment, we literally become instant transmuters of garbage. But if we're being bombarded by it, then it has to be a conscious effort taken out of our time as
So,
well.
yeah. So I see the energetic hygiene. I see it being on many levels, dependable where you're at. It could be still a thing where you still gotta work quite a bit to even like do a little like, it's still the same trigger forever and you never worked on it. So like you're still grounding every day, rewriting the
Mhm.
story, reframing. It's still energetic hygiene. Yet you could be at the level where you transmuting most of it, yet again transcending, right, or channeling, even like it's beautiful. I love what you said, because I've been collecting all the bricks that's been thrown at me, and building my own
Yeah,
beautiful
exactly.
castle.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
worry about the Kate or something comes in, yet it still requires me to be in energetic hygiene to do that,
Yes.
no matter.
Yes.
So it's not a hard work, yet for me to zero out, to neutralize, to check in, and to flow, to move my body, it's a must. To move my body, to have the clarity, to sit down, to start creating, to express, I still have the structure for the energetic hygiene. So I don't care what the level you are. It could be a heavy garbage in, a garbage out, take out. It could be very light, yet you're still taking care of
Depends.
yourself.
It
It's
depends how many
it's a
people you were
necessity.
entertaining at the party, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much. That's beautiful. I mean, Mark, thank you. So Mark is actually coming on live. We don't have a date yet when. He will go into blow mind. I mean, half of the stuff I'm gonna, because his stuff I gotta watch 4 or 5 times to really like. Huh? Land it. And some of them still don't land, but I know it, my info, my field gets more info than my mind gets. So I love it. So he said something about organs that I would love to share. How do I put this down? Okay. So the organ is an analogy of mind in the black hole church. I am. Okay, this is amazing. The organ does emit, yet also receives, in the pipes holds the harmonic. Okay, it's amazing. Uh, yeah, okay, so he has more. Need is a crutch. You don't need anything other than food and shelter. Okay, cool. So yeah, need is a crutch. If I need something, if I need to go, like, right? The need is a crutch. Beautiful. So yeah, I really wanted to share what he said. Mental hygiene, be your free and loving. Love it. About the organ. Yeah, I some instrument, and again, music and instruments, and especially instruments like that. And maybe me sitting in the church, I felt that's the place I'm like, I feel safe. I
Yeah.
don't know. It was a weird period. Yet again, I was quite strange most of the time. I read poetry through my teens. 12 through 18, I was very heavy into poetry, and it was very strange as well. And I would
Mm.
be like I would be raw enough. I would just stand up on the breaks in the class and I would read. And some guys, boys, or would throw things at me and laugh at me, and I would still read poetry. They knew that I liked poetry, so I would read them. I would memorize poems, and I would give it to my class.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and poetry was always a thing, or classical music was always the thing. That even, let's say, when I was grieving my dad, I would read poetry and cry. I would literally like, yeah, So really, it's fun. It's fun. It's all connected, and it's all, the
Yeah.
holy, and it's all God. And there is medicine in everything. There is medicine in going for a walk and touching the tree. There is medicine in listening to classical music. There is medicine, in the breath work, right? There is medicine in a coherent conversation and a hug, right? There is medicine in just someone holding the space. There's so much medicine. So basically, so much can become food, right? It can become medicine, it can become poison. Bible can become medicine, can become, again, it's just a tool. Yet everything has its double-edged sword. So either this way or that way. Are you ready for a couple questions?
Yes, I did want to touch on one
Yeah,
thing.
please do so.
So I was talking about earlier, going back to triggers and where
And
they're rooted.
feelings. And you're
Yeah,
gonna go into the
feeling,
feelings. I knew it.
feeling. Yeah, we have
I
to
love it.
feel. We literally have to feel. So, I mean, this is something that I've actually been doing. I started doing it with clients um, over the last couple of years. I kind of turned this into a thing where I will guide people into meditation and bypass the ego or the subconscious blockages around trauma, especially in at its root where it existed, because the mind does everything and anything to avoid feeling discomfort because it's trying to protect us. The ego is
Yeah.
trying to protect
Protect.
us from the moment that that trauma happened. So if there is an actual event of trauma, like physiological trauma, um, that is correlated with fight or flight response or sympathetic nervous system activation, the way that I have seen it is there is in the quantum field an energetic cluster of this energy that is trapped in time and space. It is always there from that moment, as well as connected to neurons in our brain. And from that moment, we are then going through life creating all of these scenarios, people attracting into our relationship partners, and experiences that will, in some form, recreate that trauma on some level, not to re traumatize ourselves, but to show us as a trigger where we still need to heal. The problem is at our earlier years, we don't have these tools. We're not taught how to heal ourselves or how to do this stuff as
Up
kids.
until now. Up
So,
until now. I
right.
declare it.
Yes. So it should be utilized in school systems. This should be taught to
For sure.
kids.
For sure.
And it could stop a lot of suffering. But so what happens is then we go and we circulate around that same experience in some other context, and then it's like, why does this keep happening to us? And then boom, that connection dissolves. But then you go and you create another one, and then in some other form, it's the same thing recreated over and over. In the meantime, at some point, you're like, all right, something's got to give. I need to find another alternative to this. That's when most people start trying to heal themselves. That's when they go to Joe Dispenza conferences, start reading books, start, doing this and that, and learning all these things. And they start to kind of feel better, but they're doing it, they're healing on the surface. They're still never really getting that deep rooted core healing, which is that original energetic cluster that's still in time and space. So, what I started doing with people over the last few years is guiding them sort of through meditation. It is through meditation. We're connecting to their higher self and allowing them to bypass the ego's blockages of that experience, and bypass the sympathetic nervous system's fight or flight activation, which immediately it's like, no, I can't go here. It's too uncomfortable. Easing them into that experience, whatever it was, or experiences, when they can get there and they can actually see their hands, smell the air, see what the room looked like, and look at the people in the eyes that were hurting them in some form. If they can feel the emotion that was generated in the body and the activation of the sympathetic nervous system at that point, they instantly neutralize that energetic cluster in the quantum field. It dissolves from here and now because time doesn't exist. Everything that they have learned along the way, all of the heart expansiveness, all of the beautiful person that they became as a result of the trauma, is then sending this energy through the quantum field back to that energetic cluster. The second they can connect into the body and actually feel it, not just think about it to, activate fight or flight, but to feel it literally just dissolves this energetic cluster, as well as the neuronal connection is severed to all of the triggers. That does not mean the triggers don't still activate. They can still activate, but it takes time. Eventually, those triggers will wean out as well. And they can then begin to do that in reverse. Actually, so a lot of stuff is going to come up if they do that. I would, if you want to sit there in shadow work, true shadow work, and try to get there and feel it, boom, you will transmute that energy and you will get like a massive release. and then you can actually go in reverse and heal yourself quantumly, then okay, the next experience in my early adulthood that I created, that is another form of the childhood trauma in some form, then you can go backwards and start to feel that energy as well. Anytime you felt aversion in the body, dissolve that. It's like peeling an onion in reverse, but you're starting from the core and you're working your way out until you come up to the present day. So you heal yourself in reverse. And as you're doing this, everything you feel and release and unlock internally from the past, there is a door to your future. Because as you're doing this consciously, sitting there doing shadow work into the past, there is a future version of yourself, a more ascended, expansive, higher version of yourself that you were not able to access yet because of the trauma from the past. That is ultimately doors are opening like in real time, and it is holding space for you to do this work as well because it's all happening now. It's all now, right? Everything is here now. So
Yeah.
that's just I just wanted to share that with anybody that you know wants to try that on their own. But that is ultimately, if you can get to the feeling, the actual core feeling, you can
Yeah.
release at the root and start your journey, like really start your journey, your healing
Yeah.
journey in
Well,
a
yeah.
different way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will add on because for me at this point, my understanding and again, the evidences of my own results, the evidences of my clients. So for me, yes, shadow work, yes, feeling it out, profound, absolutely profound. And then, like you said, these things might still come up. So it's not fully severe, what do you get cut off because it's still going to come and play out as there's always residue. So now we know it's not a question when actually your coding in DNA changes. It changes through your behavior. It
Yeah.
doesn't change through you knowing, it doesn't change through you thinking. Hence the quantum living lifestyle. For me, it's about the embodiment every single day, meaning the one time I'm gonna behave differently in the same feeling, in the same situation, that's when I'm recoding my DNA. So, yes, you feeling it out. Absolutely. Even if you don't have mental story. Years ago, I was always very focused on like, okay, let's reframe your story. If the story is there and you know it, perfect, let's reframe it. Yet sometimes, body feels things and mind is blocked. Why? I found the ways that it doesn't have to know. You can just go straight into the feeling and really start dissolve it, right? Dissolving it. Like it's all about
Yeah.
dissolution because to begin with, it's illusion. We don't need to like come up with solutions to bullshit because it's all illusion anyway. So it's about dissolving it. It's easier than rather fighting and build, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yet again, your DNA and the coding in your field and your energetic signature does not override or recode or reframe without your action, without experience, without behavior. You have to experience the same event differently. So the same trigger has to be experienced differently. So where it works with the feeling it out, especially if you can do it by yourself, beautiful. Especially if you have a safe space, right? Let's say that's what I do, Gary. A lot of people, or maybe you have somebody that is a friend that is very, balanced and conscious, or can sit at good zero point, right? And hold that safe space for you. You even feeling those feelings out, right? In a safe environment, that's already half of the healing right there. Period. It's just why that trigger happened because you didn't feel safe. That's all.
Yeah.
Why that fragment happened because you didn't feel safe. Why it got stuck because you didn't even feel safe after that to fucking express it.
Yeah.
We had 77 chances in the event to not get it stuck. Yet most of us, if we cried or if we did or if we got
So
scared, we were shut down as well. And then it was embedded, it
yeah.
was programmed. So again, without you experiencing it differently, no recoding happens. You can read as many books as you want. You can take as many ayahuascas as you want. Hence, again, why a lot of people are not able to integrate these profound higher frequencies into daily lives because they are not able to behave as it.
Yes. So when you okay, so that was just the first step. I finally put my dog on the floor so I can have a little peace. That was the
I love
first
it.
step. When you go there and you're actually able to feel, transmute that original energy, sever the neuronal connection to the triggers. The triggers will still, the triggers then they're kind of free floating energetically. Eventually, they have less and less of a sympathetic nervous system activation until they just fizzle out of
They
your
have
reality.
less and less entangle with you.
Yes, yes. But then when you do that, you're going to have to go back again. And then every time you do that, and the longer you can stay in that experience and not activate sympathetic nervous system activation, the more you are telling your subconscious mind and actually activate parasympathetic nervous system activation and telling your subconscious mind that this experience has no power over you, that this is not generating any fear. Then you can stay in that experience and hang out like you're lounging at the beach. You can do this all day. Like the world could
Yeah,
be burning around you in this experience,
yeah,
but you're calm, cool, and collected, and your nervous system is totally regulated.
yeah,
And one of the ways that you also have to do that. So when you go in the first time, you feel, then you go in the second time, you again, you have to then forgive and realize whoever's hurting you was hurt. Most likely, it's a traumatized child in an adult's body. Forgive them, see from the higher perspective. When you can do that, then you stay in that experience as long as you need to, and make sure that the nervous system is totally active, regulated, and parasympathetic nervous system is activated. There's a lot of parasympathetic nervous system receptors in the top lip, or there's many different ways to activate
so much.
parasympathetic.
Look, even
Yeah, yeah. There's so many different ways.
doing that for literally a minute and a half will put you in
Yeah,
parasympathetic nervous system. It's so easy.
yeah. So, and then the more then you correlate parasympathetic nervous system activation with that experience, then it's done. It's done. The experience has no hold over
Yeah,
you. And
yeah.
then eventually, then you're like, all right, this is great. This is easy. That has nothing over me anymore. You go backwards and reverse. What did I manifest next after that experience because of that trauma? Right? Because we didn't get this education in school. So if you did, you wouldn't have to go to another experience, but you didn't. So then you go backwards. What did I create in 5, 10 years later, 10, 15 years later, like et cetera, until you get to the present day. And as you're doing this, literally your future, it's like light, doors opening, all these things are opening for you simultaneously.
So
But that
again, zero
is,
point. Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're being able, because I will give you my own experience. Yeah, I'm right now with my family for almost 2 months now, you know? And wow, 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 how many little things come up that I would have a trigger if that would be 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. Maybe some of them even a year ago, I'll tell you the truth. And now I can laugh. I giggle. Literally, I walk around and I giggle constantly, constantly. And like my mom, you met my mom, Gary met my mom
yeah,
and grounded with her a little bit. She's very intrigued. So there is not so much, let's say, comprehension, but she's very, very intrigued. So she is open. Yeah. Yet the rest of my family, they're absolutely living. I mean,
yeah,
all the
choice.
way all the way in the the yeah it's I am just a crazy woo woo, and yet it's so fun. I don't at this point, nah, I
Gold,
don't even care.
alchemy,
I don't.
alchemy,
Yeah,
gold,
yeah, I
alchemy,
don't even care
gold.
if they need. I don't even care that they would change. Like, I don't care.
And
Absolutely, I love them.
the funny thing is, Roma, I don't mean to cut you off, but the funny
Yeah,
thing
it's okay.
is that we choose it all. We choose it all before
Yeah,
we even
yeah,
come here.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and for specific catalysts, because you knew, right? You knew that eventually you would find the healing and the tools and the resources to become whole in your entirety within yourself. And then you have an arsenal of things to utilize within yourself that you have overcome personally, and you can help and unlock peace for other people in this world. Like that was part of the mission as well. To a lot of people that are, serving the mission here, that are helping this world to shift on many different levels, endured traumatic childhoods in some
Yeah.
capacity, or a lot of
Yeah.
trauma in some capacity,
Yeah.
by choice, by design.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
wanted it, they
And so I
needed
love
it. Because
and so
eventually
people,
that
yeah,
would be the thing that led you to become who you are, because you knew that none of this actually at the highest, like none of this is actually the truth anyway. I
yeah.
mean, it's real, this is a real reality, but
That's why, yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, that's why when people like, what's your story? Well, so the structure that I took up on when I came, like that's how I want to start.
yeah,
It was very heavy, right? And then, wow, it's funny. It's like, but again, that where is it coming from? Because that's how like. I even I was like, wow, okay, I really set myself up. I love because I always say I love. I set myself for a win because most of the times I can look at my life, I have not left myself a choice. Like if it's not this, then yeah, I wouldn't be here. If it's not, like I constantly put myself in the situations, like the map was so rigid, let's say, that really there was no choice for me but to step into that. I don't think I had a choice. Even with this, with what I do, I never felt like it's my choice.
it's perfect.
Transformation found me. It pulled me. The obsession about 2012, I'm in huge depression and I'm meditating, and oh, I was reading the third time the Tao. And I can and I understand it, but I don't understand it. And I understand it, but I don't understand it. And every time I listen to it, it makes me feel better. But then I don't understand it. And so I kept reading and listening and audio and constantly, again. So, when yet I bought a book. I remember I bought a book, how the cell phone is made. I mean,
Interesting.
oh, because quantum physics, I wanted to understand.
Yeah,
From So me, I dive deep. I don't go like if I went into yoga, I went into yoga with the full half-year certification, meaning all of it. They taught us that I don't like to kind of go surface like. If I like something, I become almost obsessed and I love it. And I'm going to utilize the word obsessed because I do feel that way. For me, it's not a choice if I'm going to listen tonight a deeper video on, I don't know, something that Mark's sharing, because I don't have it. It's not a choice. It's a pull, it's an obsession, and I just want to. You get it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I love it because I know I was like, oh, okay, you're definitely where you're definitely where you're supposed to be in a way.
Always, always. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So for sure, we all set it up. We all set us up for a win, for ourselves for a win. It's just again, some of us don't. I feel like all of us are now coming around. It's fast. It's fast. I mean, it's fast. I don't know if you noticed. It's fast. I don't know what's happening yet. I checked in with Lithuania. I was spending some time there originally. I was born there. Well, not I. The Roma character was born there, and I guess I needed those codes of that location to
Yeah.
really land by structure, right? Because it's all of it. It's not my mom and dad, right? It's the place where we're born. It's the time, right? It's the every star. Like we are focusing into that small, dense little thing with all these structures making, co-creating that one. Yeah. Wow, it's beautiful. I love it. Um, where was I going?
Did you want to
I was
take
about to go into
questions?
questions. I just wanted to
Yeah.
see if there is anything that um yeah, okay. So anyways, it's happening fast. We're gonna go into questions. I checked in with Lithuania and literally there's so many creators that speaking our language. I'm like, yesterday I was telling my mom, like, I don't understand. There's like 30 of them just keep popping up. I was like, we're here. We've always been here. It's been, again,
People are
we're
remembering.
kind of in solitude,
Yeah.
unfolding. And now we're all coming together. And I celebrate what's happening in a big, big way. Because at times, even maybe like almost a year, like even a year ago, I was like, how's this going to unfold? And now I see it. I really see it. It's ridiculous. We have people that's been doing the work, that's built their basics. So, look me. Here we go. Quantum living lifestyle. I have my little structure. It's working. I have the evidence that it's working right there. We have Catherine with quantum biology, shifting the whole paradigm about quantum biology, right? I'm bringing all the embodiment. Here is Mark sharing this. Here is Gary sharing this. Here is Gary creating his own base. Like we have breathwork teachers. We have amazing neuropathy people that we have herbalists. We have Ayurveda medicine already. We have psychiatrists that gave up their licenses and rebuilding paradigm of mental health. We have it. It's done. We have people that have building free energy machines and in the backyards their own water engines. Like we have it. It's done. It's just we're coming together now, right? And like kind of starting to build together. That's how I see. And we are holding the codes of New Earth. We are the New Earth. There's nobody from outside. The announcement, how people used to think there's going to be an
Yeah,
announcement.
yeah, yeah. Waiting,
Uh, re-
waiting,
uh,
waiting.
yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah,
no announcement. The announcement is within.
yeah.
The remembrance is within. There's not
Big,
going to be somebody from outside coming and telling, okay, the Aquarius
yeah.
age started, right? Like, no,
No, yeah.
yeah, it's within unfolding, and it's so beautiful.
If
Yeah,
anything, from
it's
the outside is the resistance because it's
because we're clearing it.
yeah. Basically, it's yeah. Humanity, even the people that are healers and the starseed light worker community, we've been so gaslit in so many ways that it's actually through our own internal remembrance that we are seeing through the BS now and shining light on all the things that
Yeah,
are not in resonance. Um,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, let's go into a couple questions and we'll be done. It's 2 hours almost already. I love it.
I know, yeah.
Okay, so uh go anywhere you want to go. Yet let's keep it kind of laser so the people don't follow us. But yet I feel like it's the questions especially is kind of intriguing as well because it's your personal experiences. So I love that you shared Gary in the beginning of the episode or the session, we'll say, shared his first experiences of seeing. There was ayahuasca, there was Lyme disease, kind of where he started diving into looking for truth, right? So his body was off, then obviously his awakening gave him. The crown chakra gave him a weird, weird movie called Life that he started questioning. So he had to question his physical body, his mental body, right? His emotional body, and he was diving into it. Um, Now, question two. So when did you actually realize you were no longer living in the normal timeline? I'll call it that way. Basically, when did you realize, right, that it's not like something wrong with you? It's not about the Lyme disease.
I
It's
met
not
some,
about this and
I'll tell
that.
you.
You're like you saw it and then you can't go back. Go ahead. I
Yeah,
love.
so I realized at the time that I was sensitive and what I was seeing was energy. Um, I did kind of look into this a little bit, but actually it wasn't until a physics class in in my undergrad in Staten Island, yeah, that I met somebody that said we were, together in a past life, and we're not from here. We're not like the other people. And I was intrigued at the time, and I was like, okay, interesting. She did say something else that, like, she said that we're royalty. I don't, and at the time I didn't understand what that meant. I thought like, what, we were kings and queens in a past life. She's like, no, it's nothing like that. So I was just like, all right, whatever. And then without a doubt, she proved to me that, she was legit just because of like super, super freaking gifted. Um, and that set me on my course at that time. probably like 23, 24, and I never looked back. That's when first discovered um, ancient, I began connecting to my ancient origins. Um, and I can tell you guys this as well, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. Yeah, I guess I can. But yeah, so I played hockey my whole life, so I had a really bad injury. Um, I injured my back really bad, and I was essentially kind of bedridden for a couple of weeks. And then I had an experience one night that I was floating through the roof of my parents' house. And there's these two massive, like 13, 14 foot, massive, like pure light white beings greeting me as they would move. The aura would move. One was kind of connecting with me. No, one was connecting with me. And the other one was prepping something like on a surgical table or something. Had no nose, just pure white light. Looked like angelic sloths almost, just smiling. I felt so dark compared to what I was looking at. It looked brighter than like 1,000 suns, but no heat. Was just so confused. And I was curled in a ball, sleeping, right? Fetal position. That's how we kind of sleep the way we come out of the womb.
Yeah.
And they showed me my side being cut open, what I could understand as blood, and a scalpel blood dripping down my side. And that's it. I woke up, ran to the bathroom. I thought literally somebody cut into me. That's how real it felt. And I realized I had no pain. I had a really, really bad
You
injury
got
too.
up. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Really bad injury. And I tried to explain to my mom at the time. She kind of freaked out. And then I just kind of let it go. But yeah, so that
These
was,
experiences are fun
yeah,
as well. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
If
get
she
to share
watches
the.
this, she probably will laugh about it because she'll remember too, because we had another something else happen at the same time in our neighborhood. Um, yeah. Anyway, so that was around that was kind of how it happened and when it happened. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's amazing. And again, these experiences, like so much we share of like, oh, what to do now, what to be, right? Yet I feel like a lot of these experiences will allow people because another thing that I noticed, there are so many people that know something. There are so many people that experience something like that, but they don't share because of they're afraid of how they're going to be taken, because they feel like there was something just delusion, because they're afraid so many, it's insane. Like I, even when I was doing, like if I talk like raw and honestly with someone, I was like, wow, deep inside they're awake, they're just not
Yeah.
aware that they're awake. And I feel like a lot, we're probably like, and that's how I feel about myself. When I look back, I was like, I was awake. I don't know why I needed the awakening to wake. Like, I
Just to
I can
remember.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can see it. Like, what? I
A
wasn't
cat.
like,
Yeah.
I disconnected. Of course, everything was happening, anyways, in perfect harm, like perfectly the way we're all decided. So yeah, thank you for these experiences, because if anybody's experienced something like this, you don't need to shut it down. I had a very good friend. She's awesome artist. She's a great artist back home in Lithuania. And last summer, I haven't talked to her for many, many years, like 20 years. And I talked to her last summer, and she told me that she went into meditations literally 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and she started having these experiences, out of body experience, astral. She got so scared she shut it down. She never for 20 years touched it. She never told anyone. She never talked to anyone.
Wow. Yeah.
Then I had my girlfriend's grandpa, when I was visiting Lithuania, suddenly asking me, literally was like, we were hanging out for 2 3 months, I was staying there. And then one day he was like, did you open your pineal gland? And I was like, what? A 70-year-old guy, man, like, you get it? Like, and my girlfriend has no idea about this world, let's say, right? Like her father, right? Like, so that's, and I'm hanging out with her daughter, like we're really good friends. And he's like, yeah, we're not from here. And I'm like, we've been awake. We just don't talk about it. And you get it? Like
Yeah.
a lot of people feel it and experience it. It's just, it wasn't a norm. Like that, it's just a little fragment. Like it's like it's like when you buy a new anything, and then a lot of times the new remote control has a little plastic. You have to pull it out so the battery can touch and start working. I swear, I feel like it's
Yeah.
just a little film
A
somewhere. Like,
catalyst.
yeah, like pull it back
Yeah.
and then it's all here. Yeah, it's working.
And we and
So
we actually sorry, my dog is running in circles and chasing
don't
her
say
own
sorry, it's
tail.
okay.
Just
Yeah,
trying to show you she's
Violet Flame. So what's her
running in
name?
circle. Her name is Violet.
Violet, because it's
Yeah.
Violet Flame. We already know. I love it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically, yeah, so it's we lay the catalyst out before we even incarnate. The
yeah,
catalyst or the contract or whatever it is that will trigger us, like we create that before we even come here, like a long time
yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Did you have vision? It's not in one of my questions yet. Now I wanna, and we might go a little further yet. It is what it is. I mean, with the time, did you ever have an experience? Well, did you have visuals, maybe of
Mm.
before here? For me it came up. I'm sorry, why because a lot of stuff, like you were such a big confirmation when we met on things, like I would come out of the bath. So usually in the bathtub I would take a bath every night and I would meditate. Like that was just my kind of rituals. And then I would come out of bath and then suddenly just want to decide to sit down in front of the mirror, and I would start moving my hands, and actually the stuff come like word language comes out as well. Yet, and I would cry and I would start, and then I would just stop and go, and I was like, I don't know if that is, leave me alone. What is this? What am I doing? What am I saying? Right? You just literally text me about my hand. I was like, okay, I'm not going more crazy. Like I already know I'm weird, but I'm not going deeper
Yeah.
crazy. Like what is happening? Here, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
here you go. I was driving in the car, and again, I am not 7 years or 8 years ago. I don't remember yet. It doesn't really matter. It's all non-linear. Yet 7 years ago, let's say I was driving in a car. It was already evening. It was dark. And I literally pushed, and I think that was maybe my first video or second video of Dolores Cannon. I couldn't drive. Suddenly I pushed, I was like, oh, next video. I pushed and it started playing, and it literally said three waves of volunteers. I couldn't drive. I had to pull because I started crying, almost vomiting crying. What? You get it? And then that night, I was going to sleep, and then I woke up, and it was boots on the ground, boots on the ground. That's the only thing I could hear. Boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. And I was visualizing me stepping into the book, like weird again. So yet it's so fun when you can kind of connect. And I was like, that's what was happening. Okay, it supported me to remember, right? So go ahead.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Now, did you have were there other questions?
Well, did you? Yeah, yeah. But did you have like an experience, right? Like of volunteering or coming, like a
Oh,
visual
the remembrance.
memory, remembrance of,
For me,
yeah, anything.
so there was this one video I remember on YouTube, probably about 16, 17 years ago, and it was narrated by like this a woman's voice, and it was like showing like the planetary system, and then it was like we're not from here. Remember, like it was talking about ancient like wars that were fought off planet, ancient civilizations, and the origins of this planet. And our goal here, I forgot what it was called. It was like super like triumphant music. Um, it was that was like the thing that also set me into motion. Uh, it was that video, watching that video, and then
Yeah,
I could not stop going down rabbit holes about
rabbit holes.
all of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
different beings and different races. And yeah, it wasn't until actually when I moved to California the first time to LA. No, not LA. When I moved to San Diego, 3 years after LA, I lived in a small little beach town, Solana Beach, it was called, and I would go out every night at night, just sit there by the ocean meditating. That was my first connection, my first time having connection, like actual connection with with a craft. It was just
Beautiful.
like a light ship hovering about 1,000 feet over the ocean, just beautiful, beautiful energy just hovering in front of me. And I was like, what am I looking at? And then I started saying the same thing over and over. I was
Oh,
just like, Uruta kia,
yeah,
Aish,
yeah, yeah.
Kunturu, Takia, Arcturia. This is what I would say over and over again. And I was like, who's talking, who's saying this? And this energy, the frequency became so strong inside of me that I could not, like, the energy was so powerful. It was taking over me. I was just like this power was coming through me. And that was the first time that I ever said anything that I did not understand as my human brain, either English or Russian. I also speak fluent Russian. My family is from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And from that, I would then go to the same spot every night, waiting for it to come back. Sometimes it would. And it would be the same thing, just these frequencies. And then I would get downloads. I would literally just get one word, just like, and I understood it to be like my soul name, Uru Takia, and the Aish Kunturu. Aish means the lamp of God in ancient Hebrew. Um, and then, Arcturia, I guess, we know what a lot of us have heard
Yeah.
what that is. And then I would just get downloads from this one word or one sentence of just total understandings of just super complex, deep stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would come through in like a little packet, and then all this information would come through it. So that's kind of like the first time where I was started, playing around with light language a little bit. But Winter Solstice 2019 was when I went into the shower and I full blown had all of my mudras
It comes.
spinning, speaking different language. I didn't understand what was happening. Everything was just, it was the most intense shower experience I ever had. But yeah,
And
that
not
was
that
my,
way, okay? A lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's fun."
yeah, no, in a spiritual way. Unless you
I love it.
consider,
I
yeah,
love
spinning
and
mudras is fun. Yeah.
yeah, and Mark is commenting. I just looked at the YouTube again because sometimes I pop out of it. We are the aliens. I would even not utilize the word aliens, Mark. Let's say because for me, again, I did not speak English when I came here, so it was even that. Even sometimes right now, right? I watch my videos. I'm like, I get to like spread, like expand my vocabulary, right? Or I
Yeah.
get to a better pronunciation. At this point, like I'm still gonna express and go, while maybe tuning in a little bit to more alignment. Yet when I came, like I didn't have an English at all, and I was 21. I learned Hebrew and English at the same time. I learned English
Wow.
from Israelis, so that's even good. It's the funniest thing ever. So
Violet,
Alien for me, because
come
I
here.
remember Alien, um, because in Lithuanian it doesn't sound at all like this, right? So Alien, when I was explained Alien, it's something outside of you, right? Alien, it's something that is not belonging. So at this point, I don't know why. I almost don't like it doesn't come out for me the word alien easily because I feel like, well, there's nothing outside. Everything belongs here.
Yeah.
Everything is everything. So it's not even, alien extraterrestrials, right? Like I would utilize this word. Yet, yes, freaking yes. Yeah. Like, if not picking on the word, fully on yes. Yeah, so I love it. Oh, Mark shared as well. I also had a visitation by UFO, stopped 20 feet from me for real, and I could describe the blue light that I saw um, in detail. Okay. Did they download Passable because I had a mind boost? Okay, so either way, he had he shares very engineer like, I will say. I love it.
Nice, nice.
Yet, yeah, here you go. So a lot of us having these experiences, and so many already share it, but yet it was not in the mainstream, correct? That's why everything felt, everything that has to do something with spirituality, UFO, and so on. I mean, at this point, it's not even UFO, right? Unidentified. It's all identified. Don't worry, we now identify them,
Yeah,
right? Flying subject. Are they really flying? I don't know. Are they buzzing? Are they vibrating? Right? Funny. Yet, yeah, so many of us are having these experiences, um, and and we were simply not able to share up until now. And I feel like the more of us speak of it, the more maybe, like, maybe even the easier will be. For sure, I feel like that everyone that is awakening right now, for them it will be a little bit faster and easier in a way. I don't know if the easier word is correct yet, maybe. I feel like, because again, the quickening is here, and this energy of this higher frequency, there is so much Christ consciousness already anchored on earth right now, you know? So I feel, and there is again, as we keep clearing our fields up, right? We keep supporting the collective to clear easier, because now this frequency is available much faster for them as well, right? The distortions dissolve faster as well. So I trust that that's the case, especially because, like you said, of the quickening, and we're moving in where we see that the time is not really here. Um, Nice, visit me. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I checked in with Fever Gears. Yeah, so he as well says Adversity University. Well, we said that we set ourselves up for all the catalysts, right? Beautiful. Your energy is light beacon. Gary is great too. Great energy. That alone is a key to flow. Beautiful. He gave us a
thank you.
compliment. Thank you, Mark. I love it. Okay, another question or two, and we'll be done. So we already know that. What version of you had to fall apart? So I know that a lot of us, like an onion, like peeled off many versions. Yet a lot of times, we have one of the catalyst moments stuck with us more so, right, than other. So what version of you had to fall apart that you can remember most profoundly, so you now could emerge, right? For example, for me, I'll just give you an example, maybe it will support you. For me, one of the most challenging was to it's the my own family and being a good daughter. This was always like the most heart-wrenching. The same way as more I was awakening, the less I could feel the support and the connection with them, and the more I was holding on to that, like I was like, the one thing I gotta stay is aligned with my family. The one thing I gotta stay, being good daughter to my mom. And that had to fall apart, and I had to be for quite a few years not so good.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was most I'll say, for the Roma character, that was one of the most uh, uh, painful, heavier dissolutions, if I
yeah.
can say that. So for you,
Uh,
what
I would.
what parts?
I
Because
mean,
yeah.
there were many catalysts. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
literally, my injuries from playing hockey. I had a lot of surgeries from that sport. Uh, that kind of forced me not to be able to continue to play that way and to that have that mindset. But also, I would probably say having I had to I basically moved. I grew up in New York, New Jersey area, and I moved across country. I got married at the time, and I moved across country. Um, and I had to kind of leave the bubble of everything I ever knew to really understand and discover more about myself and have these kind of experiences, kind of be out there. Wasn't truly on my own. I did have my partner, my wife at the time. Um, but Yeah, I would say that. And then after that, another catalyst was getting divorced. Uh, After that, then I was on my own. And then I started moving. I started traveling for work and moving all over. And that had to happen as well. So just really, I guess, letting go of the old identity of who you think you are.
Yeah,
Obviously, family is always there, and can't really, you're not going to disconnect from that. That we choose that for specific reasons, and there's, I love my family, and but it's also needing to get out of the context of the original
it. Yeah,
environment
yeah,
that we were raised in and all of the
yeah.
programs and that mindset, and just to kind of break free from it, to be on our own, to then be able to understand who we are on a deeper level.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I can see it again for a lot of us is many ego deaths, one after another one. There's I've had probably like two really one I'll say the biggest dark night of a soul if you can call it. So I'll say this 2012 like yeah, I couldn't recognize myself. I was like ready just I lived on the 55th floor. I was like, at least I have this. If I want to, I can jump.
Mm, mm.
you know,
Oh,
I was like,
geez.
one thing, and I was actually very successful. Like I had my own personal training company. I lived right in the most beautiful, most expensive luxury area. I had these fancy, like, like I felt like I got it. Like look at like and then I was like, it ain't feeling right at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, some people literally like have to divorce sometimes. Like if it's a mom, I the kids fall away even. Like the kids look at you like cuckoo. Like there's so many of us that had to dissolve so many parts of them. And, again, so many people, like I know now at this point, many doctors that literally after 30, 40 years of this, working in this area, like they're giving up their license. I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume that's big as well, right? You get used to being that PhD title, thing, right? A family and family respects you and everybody, you get it. And now you gotta go against grain as well, right? Against all of them saying you're the cuckoo. So yeah, it's
The
you
herd,
gotta be the
the herd
yeah, the her.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah, we gotta be. You get to be the warrior in the garden. There is no way for us not to be warrior. That's why, for me, spirituality equals positivity. It's the biggest misconception. It's the biggest, BS myth. I don't know what it has to do with positivity. I haven't, my mom never was spiritual, always positive. Always. She was always, first of all, we're all spiritual to begin with. There's nothing that this is spiritual. I don't know what to tell you. So even that, it's already a paradox that we say spiritual. Like, what do you mean? Even the most non spiritual is full spirit. You know,
Yeah.
yet she was very positive, let's say, yet no, not much connection, like I even shared with you. Me going to church, she would laugh at me, you get it. Yet she was very, very positive always. She had a very positive mindset. So yeah, it's not that, it's definitely authenticity, where the beautiful negative charge or emotion or anything needs the positive, and then here is we zeroing it into the ground.
Hmm.
Love it. Okay, next one. Um, this is a good one. So, what ideas about being human did you have to let go of before you could actually meet yourself? I will twist it a little bit differently. Uh, Basically, what blew your mind, right? When you found out about what is that being human, right? What blew your mind when your eye opened up and you're like, oh, we're that. What blew your mind about this being human, right? That you could never again unsee it, correct?
About being human or not being.
Being human. Like, well, now we're shifting the paradigm of being human, right? What it means. Because before being human, it was a consumer culture, right? Yeah, you know how the body works. It's a mechanical, chemical model. You know how success works, right? Accumulation. You accumulate things, you accumulate money, you accumulate titles. That's the success, right? The more you have, the more you're successful. That was the paradigm, right? So let's say for me, what means being human? For me, what really the most blew my mind that again, till now, why I'm doing what I'm doing is that human body itself. So maybe the embodiment is my path because of I've always been fascinated by human body, and since I was little, there was a knowing, always a knowing. Like even if my mom would want me to take me to doctors or give me a pill, I would be like, you don't know what that is. You don't know what that is. This is magic. I would touch my hand as a kid, and I would say, this is magic. This is magic. So I think when I found out now how my body really, how the body can work, right? How these emotional, mental, energetical, bioplasma around me elements really is the structure for the physicality, right? How this skin is not a limit to where I finish, right? Rather, it's just a bridge. I'm extended. I'm much bigger than your than our IC at the moment. That blew my mind the most, right? Like the conspiracies, obviously, right? I went down every rabbit hole I could, right? They were just blowing my mind. Yet when it came to my body and I understood that we have so much power to heal it, no, 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 I could, wow. I was like, I will never do anything in this life that it's not it. Like, I'm just going to be doing this. That's it, right? Being this expansion. So for me, it was with the body, you know I don't know what's for you, or for some people, like how this reality actually works. It's just blew my mind. Like, oh, you mean with every word I manifest? Oh, with every feeling? What do you mean? You mean it's what? Like, you get it? So what blew your mind the most about your old paradigm, about old ways of living all day? That it doesn't have to be that way, right? For me, it's like, I knew, hence I didn't want to go to work to the hospital, yet it still blew my mind the most.
Oh
The
yeah, yeah,
intent,
yeah.
yeah, the
I
intuitiveness was there, but then I figured out, oh, now I know. I like, wow, that's not how it works. That's not how we
yeah,
heal.
yeah. I guess it was having those, you know, the initial experiences that I had where I kind of felt like I was ill in my early 20s, and um I felt a little disconnected from my body at the time, like I was not in my body. I felt like I was looking at my hands, but they didn't feel like my hands
Feel
anymore.
yours. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was kind of like I'm outside of my body. And then science had a term for that, dissociation, disassociation. And or like psychology has a term for that. But w-
Ah,
yeah, what I was
okay,
thinking,
okay. That's what
yeah,
it is. I didn't know that.
yeah, but I don't think that with me personally, that's not what was happening. It was essentially, it was like shedding of old dense layers. And when that happened, and when I started to see the orbs, and when I started to be super sensitive to energy, and at that point, I realized that most people are not experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing at that time, like 16, 17 years ago. And that there is more, that there is a
Love
veil,
it. Yeah.
there is more,
So the yeah,
that
yeah.
was the
So
first
the
point.
experiences, yeah, yeah, the experiences that start blowing your mind. I'm gonna touch on what you said, dissociation. So again, a lot of labels. That's my interpretation. That's my experience in this reality. Obviously, nobody gets to take my words just because I said it. Whatever beautiful beings resonate with you, align with you. Whatever you want to look into, or maybe it's a confirmation for you as well. Like, oh, I felt like this, perfect, Roma, thank you. Yet, I always felt absolutely, especially in the showers. Well, today we're doing a lot of motion. The we're naughty. In the showers, I was always working out a lot, so I was a lot in my body. I know my body.
But
I can feel my
sorry,
body. It's okay.
she
Yet,
just pooped. Oh
oh,
no.
she just pooped.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it was her time to go.
yeah, but she pooped on the floor.
It's okay. It's her time.
Sorry.
It was her time to go.
No, I know. And then she was trying to eat it. Hang on a second.
Oh, yeah,
Come
yeah,
here.
yeah. No,
Come here.
get
Come
her,
here.
get her.
Come here.
Yeah, get her.
Come here.
Just
Come here,
have
baby.
her on your knees. We want to
I
see
I
her.
did. I did. Come here.
Ah, and then she doesn't. So,
She doesn't.
for
She
me,
starts. She's chewing on everything. She's only
yeah.
four
So,
months old, so she's
yeah, she's a little baby. Yeah.
she's
So
good. I got it.
for me, I never felt like it's my body. I was feeling my body, yet every time, like when you said, I would look at my hands, or if I wash dishes, I would look at my hands and I was like, it's just weird. This is weird.
Yeah.
I would take a shower and you're like washing yourself, and then I would crack my neck and I would literally feel, the Terminator movies, the goo, the black goo plasma guy, the what do you call it? The
Yeah.
bad when he
The
can
cop.
when there is a puddle, yeah, of it, and then he comes together right into the form. That's how I always felt myself and imagined. Even if I crack my head, I was like, I just became something. And I would laugh. And then I was like, wow, I'm fucking weird. I was like, something is wrong with me. Really, why do I think that it's like I felt like it's borrowed? I'm telling you. And I would look and I would be like, it's it's strange to be in it. So I get it. Yet again, I feel like most of the labels, including
This
ADD,
associate.
including
Yeah.
schizophrenia, including dissociation, including is just as tuning into other dimensions, yet labeled by the 3D
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
concerning
They
yourself,
wanna give an answer for something so that they can push a pharmaceutical medication
whatever they need to
to
push.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And then Mark shared beautifully. I love it. Thank you so much. Um, After I was engineer at Parliament 10 years, I played music for a year, then broke, lived in my car for a year, and then I woke.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes that.
Diversity University. I love it. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Mark, for being so honest and raw and authentic as well.
Yeah.
And again, can these experiences, and us sharing these experiences, it gets to support everyone. The wealth. It's not accumulated. It's something that comes and goes and flows through you. It always, well, it's always here, right? Wealth, abundance. So we get to redefine everything, and we are redefining absolutely every single thing. I don't think anything else is. I don't think anything is staying from the old. I right now, if I would need to think of a thing that is gonna still fit as a new paradigm, wow. We're redefining family, we're redefining relationships, we're redefining health, we're redefining finances, we're redefining wealth. I mean, we're
Yeah.
redefining passion. We're redefining even intuition. We're redefining our senses. At this point, that's it. We're moving into other senses. Sensory, right? Receptor, right? Telepathy, yeah, and so on. So
The
yeah. If you're
Clairs,
gonna come up with something,
all of the Clairs are coming
all the
back online.
clairs, yeah, all the clairs are
Well,
coming online.
the original human template was an angelic human template, and what we
Yeah,
coined junk DNA. They say science tells us we have a double helix, and all these junk, and the rest is junk DNA. It was actually six pairs. We had 12. We had yeah 12 strands, the original human template, and we had all of our clairs were already active.
yeah,
Clairaudience, sentience, cognizance,
yeah,
all of
yeah,
it. And it
yeah,
was disconnected from us. So it's coming back
yeah,
online, and
yeah.
we're returning back to, we're returning back to our divinity.
So yeah, and again, I feel like dependable on the structure that we take, I feel like again, they're just it's kind of individual because again, if you look at these sensitive kids, right, they're still having these on. Uh, you know, how come my back would hurt if the light would fall on the back? I actually would feel like I would need it to move away. If if the light strip is falling on, you get it. So, and look at a lot of sensitive kids, even. So, I feel like it depends. Some of us maybe had a little bit off, a little bit on, more activated, not so closed. You get it? Like maybe the
Yeah.
structure. I don't know. Yeah. Because if I look back, I was like, oh, I had this on for sure. That's why I struggled so much explaining. You know, um yeah, and all the residue, all the garbage, right? That's what kind of gets is as a distraction when there is no clarity, when there is no beautiful coherence, alignment, communication with all these systems, because the garbage is in the face. She's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, last one. Not yeah, not least yet amazing. So, what truth cost you the most? Meaning, by cost you the most, again, that's speaking from that character Gary level or Mama Gary level, because at this point we know it's not a cost, right? Well, maybe it's a cost, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a value. So, what truth cost you the most in a way? Yet again, give you a life that you would never trade back for the old one.
easy answer is that we're spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. The moment I came into that full realization, you can't go back. You can't undo that. You can't undo the experiences that you have or have had. So that is truth. The truth to, to what's beyond and what it all means and why we are all here. There's essence of that. So you can't just pretend like that's not real anymore. And that has cost me greatly, worldly relationships and connections that are not at that realization, on so many levels. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, yeah, I love it. And I love, yeah, that was a really nice line for us to finish. And Mark added, knowing what is the truth is a leap of consciousness. Like there is a saying as well, right? Um, what you said? Knowing, the same with God. There's a saying, I don't want to butcher it. Um,
you just butcher
knowing
it.
what God is. No, knowing what God is. Ah, I can't. I'm gonna reshare. Yeah, because again,
To know God is to know yourself.
it's yes, true. Yet there was another one. So it's you're experiencing it. You're like do you believe in God, right? Like I don't need to believe in God. I know God. I experience God. I am the experience of it. So yeah, again, experiencing is will recode your DNA. It's the experience, it's the behavior, and then obviously we're moving into the feeling and emotion that is such a beautiful guidance of where we at in this quantum field, a beautiful gift of our mind. Obviously we can support ourselves to override, to move into different concepts, to override the old stuff that is not working for us anymore, correct? Now that beautiful alignment to see if it's all communicating in coherent matter. Are they just yelling at each other and pretending they're communicating and nobody hears each other, right? Or are they obviously comprehending and tuning into each other and working as one? Correct? And wow, what a profound freaking lifetime to be alive. I mean, in this form. Other than that, we are eternal. That's another, I think, truth for me was a big deal. Um, the death, like you die so many times, getting to your heart, moving from here, they say it's the longest trip, right? It's
Hmm.
only 6 inches or what, or 12 inches, I don't know, 6 inches, 12. Yet it's the longest trip for so many of us. And yeah, once you die so many times, Gary, even the deaths does not carry the same meaning at all
Yeah.
anymore. And that's beauty, and it does blow your mind. The journey blows your mind. The journey cracks your heart open. many, many times, breaks it till you totally open it widely, right? And thank you for every glitch, for because you're here means you're essential. There's not one of us, even the people that support us to glitch, they're essential
Yeah.
to the T.
It's all
That's
source.
priceless, perfect. Even the ones that will not wake up, don't worry, they're awake. We don't need to worry about.
Yeah.
We're all awake beneath this map, okay? um, Such a big gratitude for every single part of this puzzle. And I don't know why I want to cry right now. And it's blissful tears and it's coming. Um,
Beautiful.
Profound.
Yeah.
It's a profound journey. It's a profound lifetime. It's a profound. It's profound for me even to still my inner child. You know me so, and anybody that is tuned in a little bit with energies. My inner child leads my life. My inner child plays with me. My inner child is here. She is fully healed. She's fully playing. She's fully doesn't give a shit to be good daughter, bad daughter. She is priceless anyways. And she delivers value. And she's always here with me. And for me, it's one of the biggest things. I took a structure where as a kid, I saw it all. Um, there was a knowing, yet there was such a hopelessness, right? Well, hopeless. Like there's no way anybody can help you. There's no way anybody can save you. There's no way you felt safe or secure. And I am so happy and so in deep gratitude for every inner child of ours. Because really, it's just an adult mask that we're wearing because our nervous system and our inner world, it's still our inner children running it. It's the trauma is running it or the healing is running it. It's still an inner child, right? So I am absolutely celebrating because now our inner children get to play the way they freaking want to. They get to explore, they get to be whole and complete, they get to feel seen and heard. And I don't think that we had it before, period. Nobody really had it before. It's not on my family's ancestry, on your family, or on this lineage, or on this. It's not, it's just that's the age and that's the cycle that we are closing, and that's how the evolution um, continues of this and other realms. We're closing such a heavy cycle, and good for us. We made it and we did it, and we're literally conduits, for that greater source that we are, the life that we are, with every breath, because breath is life. Gary, cannot, yeah, beyond words, beyond words. I love you, my Elohim, my soul, my star brother. I love you, my friend. You are my
Love you
soul
too.
family, and you're my family. And I love everything you share. I love everything you are for me and for others. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Mark as well. Like, it's amazing. He's like going with the
Yeah, he's
comments. You have
engaging.
no
Good.
idea. Yes. Mind, Z, and body. Yeah, people, God, his children, free on earth. Yeah, perfect in the image. We transcend from God. Yeah, I'm like bumbling while I'm reading fast. Obviously, you read faster than. Yeah, if anybody wants to see some mind-blowing comments, please go into read Mark's, and as well follow Gary Awakened Within. Reach out to him with any questions as well. Follow Mark. And continue going within if there is need to do more work. Other than that, the last couple minutes, I invite all of us to celebrate and to declare right now that we're already healed. It's done. It's done. The little residue, if it comes up only to choose for us not to choose it.
Yeah.
Choose not to choose it. That's about it. Everything right now, in my interpretation, Gary, that comes up, it comes up to be literally, again, dissolved. At this point, everything is pretty fast and happening fast, and it's quickening. There's so much love, unconditionality, grace in the field already, just from all of us holding it for ourselves, and holding it for others, right? If you hold for yourself, you automatically hold it for others. So that's absolutely amazing. Gary, please share something before I'm gonna close it out. If you, yeah, whatever is coming up.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be here and thank you for having me. Um, Me and little Violet.
Violet, thank you. Now ask Daddy to clean your ass.
Yeah, I gotta clean her ass and feed her and
And
pick up
feed
the
her
poop.
and clean the floor. That's the daddy. Here you go. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. But yeah, very grateful to have done this with you, and I hope people, whoever's tuning in now or will tune in, can take from this something super valuable to help them in their own life on their own journey, and they can help others so that we can pay forward. And then this is how the true transcendence happens in this realm.
Absolutely.
And only good things to come. Only amazing, beautiful, good things to come. Do not pay attention to everything trying to get your attention, trying to distract you in the external. Stay centered, stay aligned, stay
Say zero
focused.
point.
Yeah.
Keep tuning into
Yeah.
that 0 point.
Yeah. And
Yeah, absolutely.
it's all perfect. Perfectly
Yeah.
imperfect, but perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already done. As well, super uber grateful for all the greats that that we stand on their shoulders. Everyone that came right before us, like funny not funny, right? Even Dolores Cannon, right there. There was an activation that I had to go into another rabbit hole with myself. Everyone that did the work before us as well, and way, way before them, because they're supporting us and then we're supporting someone else and so on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't wait for as well questions if you have suggestions. If you have, you can put in the comments, you can email me. Under the video, I will put Gary's Insta link. Gary, you have YouTube, you do, I think.
I do the
It's
best. I
little,
don't
but
really use
yeah,
it. There's
not
like
active.
two little videos there. I mean, one of them I would recommend. I made a long time ago when I first started doing this
So we'll
about
still put it.
shifting frequency. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So
if you want to check it
you'll
out.
give me
Yeah.
the link. You'll send me all the links you want me to put under. Absolutely. We'll put so as well, check in. Um, Other than that, you are fantastic, magnificent,
So are
brilliant,
you?
beautiful, wholesome already. There's nothing to add. You
Yes.
can only dissolve and meet more of you. And for a fact, the last sentence, unknown is fun. People, unknown is
Yeah.
very fun,
Yeah.
and it's not boring, and it's adventurous, and you live in curiosity and giggle and kind of like, oh, what's this? And a childlike when you allow yourself to play in the unknown. And for a fact, I did say last sentence funny, it's a long one. Your brain, the more routines, the more structure, the more of the same you have in prolonged times, right? The less of new neurons it makes. The more in the known you live, your brain stays younger, your body stays younger, you stay younger as well. So, people that expand constantly, people that learn new things constantly, people that allow themselves to play in the known, right there, you're already supporting your body to regenerate much faster because you're not in the same trajectory where body doesn't need to utilize. the newness, the regeneration, right? So then it kind of dims down. Yeah, so we're constantly communicating to the universe, to our body, what we want, even when we don't communicate to her what we want.
Yes. Yeah, combine the unknown with excitement, and then it'll
Of
really
course.
spur
If again,
neuroplasticity.
curiosity is a minimum. If it's not, if you can't get so excited because you still have, and if you're in fear, move into curiosity.
Yeah.
Curiosity will dissolve that harsh, rigid boundary. Simply get curious. What if it works out? What if there is more? Like you said, there
Hmm.
is more, right? What if it's actually rigged in your favor?
It is.
Simply get curious because it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yet, when you're in that fear, just get a little curious. Like, what
Yeah.
if? Okay, I always say, what if? Oh, no, but what if I'm going to lose it? But like, oh, what if I won? Anyways, we love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
And I know this is probably the
Thank
longest
you.
live. I love it. It's Gary and I. We can't,
Yeah.
we can't stop.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
yeah, whatever your minds took, whatever your ears heard, whatever you saw, notice as well, because that's a beautiful way to work with yourself. Notice if there was judgments, notice if there was contractions, because you can already today literally dissolve it. Right? It's a mirror. Notice if there was a subject that we shared there, you were like, rolled your eyes, correct? As well, that's beautiful. No, it's okay. Like you can even curse me and judge me and label me. That's totally fine for me. Yet if you want some growth,
Take something out of
expansion
it. Yeah.
within, yeah, get value. Extract the wisdom out of
Yes.
your wound. Always.
Yes.
There is no wound without the wisdom. There is no trigger without deep wisdom. And wisdom is simply memory without emotional charge. Amen.
Amen.
Gary, I love you. Their higher selves and their fields took more anyways. So that's the beauty. We'll talk very soon. Next
Yes.
Monday, I have somebody. Oh, next Monday, I have another beautiful masculine. Tim, I think you know Tim as well from Instagram. I'll send you. Tim is absolutely out of this world. He's breatharian and urine upcycling, and at this point, he's literally living from the spirit. So that's going to be very intriguing as well. Gary, thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone, have a most wonderful rest of your
Yes.
nows.
Yes. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. And goodbye from Violet.
Bye bye, Violet. We love you. We see you.
Bye. All right. We'll talk soon.
Violet, you're priceless, even if you kaki on the floor. Good for you.